opening card there.
It's your program.
That's what you tell me.
You know, it's
That's what you say when something goes wrong.
That's right.
yeah. Oh, what Saturday night sucked? Well, that's John's show.
Exactly. Yeah, you always have an excuse.
I love the fact that you have a criminal attorney as your lead-in, your pre-roll.
Criminal attorney.
Yeah.
The people's lawyer.
Now Lemmy is fucking whining. All of a sudden, she's been quiet all night. Now she's like, "Hey, you want to do your thing?"
No, she knows we're going live.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. 32. There we go. 32. John Beale, you're up.
32. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Straturday night. It's what's the date? It's just turned up to the 12th, I think, here in Massachusetts. We got Johnny Beane out on the West Coast, along with Johnny Beane's in northern West Coast, down on the southern West Coast.
I think it's upper central.
Who knows?
I think it's what it is.
Nobody knows where Johnny hails from.
North Central?
Yeah, I'm from North Central.
Yeah.
That's right. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Johnny Beane with the red jacket. Is it cold out there?
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I got to keep the window open for Ned.
We got to think about Ned. So it's not. We got Paul out there. Paul's around. He's got his pups with him. Yeah, Paul, Ace, and Lemmy.
Yeah, they're hanging out. Lemmy is now singing out in the other room because she wants to play. Greetings from Phoenix, Arizona, where the entire region smells like shitty barbecue.
Yeah, there's a mystery out there. It's like some kind of phenomenon.
If anybody is in the chat from Phoenix or Arizona and can identify that weird smell, it's all over the city. I can't. It literally smells like a barbecue plane crashed somewhere.
Well, I live near a Nestle factory, and it always smells like onion soup. So I don't know. I don't know what they're cooking there. It's like, but it doesn't smell bad, you know.
Onion soup is what they're probably cooking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always like a different kind of like. I think they do like
onion soup.
It's like Lipton, or I think they might be like a division of Lipton or something where they do.
Oh man, you know what I love? I love the onion dip. You know, you make with the Lipton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with your potato chips.
Yep.
I like
sour cream and onion potato chips.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Who else is there?
Who else? Let's get to it. Look at him.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
What's happening, boys?
Man, you got what's that bass behind you? It looks like a 5-string.
5-string Spectre Euro or a Euro 5, whatever.
Michael, what? Oh no, he's a Schecter, not Spectre.
Spectre. That's almost like the bass that Eddie played on Sammy's record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great basses, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Sting played one of those on.
You're gonna have to show us that
Synchronicity.
At some point. That's
Synchronicity
nice
tour was
the great one of my favorite bass tones ever. There's 2 albums from Queensryche, Empire and Promised Land. The bass tones on those 2 records were with a Spectre. It was a 4-string, but Eddie Jackson, he might still play Spectre, but that's what he used on those records, man, and they sound phenomenal.
I love the.
Is it active?
I love a good compressed bass sound.
Yeah.
Is it active, Jay?
Go ahead. What'd you say, John?
I was just wondering if it had active pickups. If it was
Is my hair active? Yeah, my hair is real active. Yeah, they're active, and there's something that I have an unbox thing tonight, and it kind of has to do with that bass. So we'll get there. We'll get there, boys and girls in the chat.
I have a sound gear with Bartolini, active Bartolinis in it. That's awesome.
Dude, Bartolinis are effing awesome.
Yeah,
something like that right here. You guys, changing pickups was a good idea on this one. I always talk about changing pickups, but
all of a sudden it's bass talk. Everybody is just swapped over.
Yes.
I love the Bartolinis, though. Those are good.
Yep.
When did Paul Rudd join the show? I don't know.
I guess
that's Jason.
That's
I don't wear a hat for the first time in like a year and a half. Yeah, pardon my
Internet
hairdo,
is
everybody,
great.
but I don't give a shit tonight. How about that?
No problem, man. We won't judge you.
We won't, but everyone else on the internet will.
Yeah,
Jay has
my
hair.
Jeannie's texting me about it right now.
Hey, at least you can do something with it, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have options.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Wow. Man, this is a weird setup.
So what did everybody think of the show last night? We had Cameron Brown,
Wonderful.
we had Adam FU-Tone, Adam Reaver. We had Jason McNamara all the way from Japan.
Best of
Yeah.
2020.
Dude, we were all over the planet last night, if you think about it. You know?
True.
Yeah.
All sides of the globe.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give anything away, but did you guys see the ending?
Dude, I had no idea
It was hilarious.
until right before I went to bed. I clicked on the video just to see, if there's any new comments or whatever. And so it might have been Mancuda or somebody wrote the end of the show was amazing or something. And I was like, what the hell? What did we do at the end?
Yeah.
And I clicked on the end and I saw it. I was like, holy shit. Mancuda's a funny cat. That was the funniest thing he's ever done on the show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The funniest thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
That was yeah. We were
now
one.
now I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it after this show, check that out.
Yeah,
Last
check it
night's
out. But yeah,
broadcast.
basically what happened was we were winding down. We were trying to get out of there. I felt really bad for Cameron because it's like 5 a.m.
yeah.
and he's
Right.
just sitting there, So I texted Mancuda and I'm like, hey, and I don't want to give anything away. You guys got to go watch it. Go watch the ending, not now, after we're done. Or leave this window open and go, you can switch in between.
Yeah, just go right to the end, the very last minute of the last night's show.
Yeah, but I texted Mancuda and I'm like, hey man, what do you think about doing this? And then we did it. and I keep just watching the end.
Funny, man.
It was hilarious.
No, I was wondering why you guys were signing off so quickly, and then it showed you. I figured it out.
Well, we were signing off so quickly because we were trying to get off for like a half hour.
Right.
I mean, those shows like that are tough because Adam had such great stories, and those type of shows, like I don't want them to end. I want to keep asking stuff and having people show great guitars. But I mean, sometimes you just got to be like, okay, we can't go for 6 hours.
There'll be another time.
We can, but it's
There were
just
6 people
Was
on,
that the
I know
first time you had Adam on? I thought you had him on before.
No.
Oh.
He's been in the chat.
Yeah.
And I see him at NAMM all the time, for years. But no, it was the first time he's actually been on video with us.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Oh.
Great show, boys.
Hi, Lenny.
Thank you, man.
Somebody's
And
all of a sudden looking for attention.
What else is new?
So I'm at 2 hours and 10 minutes, 2 hours and 11 minutes. When does Mancuda come in?
The last minute. Just go right to the very end, the last minute.
That's what
of
I'm
the show.
doing. I'm getting there now.
Watch when everybody else dumps out, and then
And I've got
That's all that's left.
Muted. I've got it muted. So, do I need to
Or
hear the
you should
sound?
mute this and unmute that because it's pretty effing funny, man.
All right, I'm going to mute us.
yeah, come back to us.
Unmute that.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Let's get reaction videos, Johnny, to the very end of the show and have people record themselves getting to the very end and watching it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good editing on your part, Johnny. It was
Definitely
good
do that.
producing on your part.
Thanks. Yeah, and I thought about it later. I was in the bathroom and I was thinking, oh, it would have been better if, but then I thought about it and I'm like, no. I thought it was for what it was fine. It was cool. And wow, I just got a comment from Waldo.
Sit down, Waldo.
Wow. Yeah, he just said thanks, Johnny. On
For what?
The real Waldo?
The real Waldo, yeah.
Oh man, you're looking a little like Waldo tonight.
Oh, they're all the red, you mean?
I don't know. I
The
don't know what
nerd-
it is. It's the glasses, I guess.
The nerd. It's probably because this is
And
gone.
the clean shaven, yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty
Yeah.
funny.
You saw that?
I'm watching now.
Or me? Oh, that? Oh, yeah.
Tom, can I ask you how you pronounce your last name? Because I'm tired of not tired, but I apologize for constantly butchering it. And he's saying that Jason McNamara looks like Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater, and he does. Somebody actually said that in the chat last night. Do you guys have Jordan Rudess on? I think McNamara is like 7 inches taller than Jordan is from Dream Theater.
McNamara is tall. You saw the video of him and me together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everybody thought Jason had another kid.
High.
I'll be right back. I got to figure out why Lemmy is whining again.
Okay.
Jay, it's high, Jay.
Okay. High. Tom Harhigh is watching.
Welcome,
Okay.
Tom.
Welcome, man.
Where are you from?
You come here often?
Yeah. No, we haven't seen you around here.
No, he's been in the
Is he?
chat pretty active for the last couple of weeks, right?
No.
At least
I've seen the name around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, Tom.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Kotter.
Kotter.
Man. Yeah. So anyway, last night, we dedicated the first half of the show to Rush.
Sure.
Yeah, and figured tonight, dedicated some of this because we got some different people in here, like John, you're here, and and Neanderthals here.
Yeah, I was never I never considered them like my top. I guess they're in my top 10. Rush, probably, I would say.
Get him out. Ejector seat. Where is it?
and I've done, I've followed them throughout the years. I'll tell you one Rush story that.
Hey, John, how old are you?
I'm 45.
45. So you're a couple years. That's that age. You should love Rush, man.
I do love Rush. I have no issues with Rush whatsoever. I haven't seen them live, but I do. I will say back in 96, 97, The Who was coming back around.
Who?
And I wanted, and I was living down in New Haven at the time. And so I got a few, buddies together, and we were going to go see The Who. And so
I'm glad you said you were going to go see The Who.
Right. So I was the guy going out to get the tickets, and they used to sell them at like at the mall down, it was probably like 20 miles away from New Haven. And so I was waiting. I went there. I was like, there was a huge line, and I was waiting in line for like 3 hours. And it turned out everybody that was waiting in line was waiting for Rush tickets. I was the only one waiting for Who tickets. So I sat in a Rush line.
What you're saying is when you went to the Who show, you were the only one there, and everyone was at the Rush show.
Well,
which line had the most girls in it?
Wow,
that's
probably neither of them. I don't remember either. But the only show that was available was New Jersey, so it was the Meadowlands, the arena at the Meadowlands. So that's why there was nobody else. I mean, and everyone was there for the Hartford or New Haven shows for Rush.
So that was the Test for Echo tour, correct?
What was it, 97, I think?
That album came out
90, might have been 96.
96, yeah. So I saw that tour. I think I saw that tour twice. They did two legs, and they came to the Meadowlands, I believe, twice on that one.
But that was I would have liked to have seen Rush, but it was never on my top list. But I have I've always had their their cassettes. I had all the cassettes back growing up. That was one of my first bands that I was like, always keep. Every time I would find a Rush cassette, I would buy it because I wanted to start learning their catalog. And
you're like, wait, maybe I can start learning some of this stuff on bass. And then you're like, nope, never mind.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. But a lot of now I've got a bunch of their concert videos, which are cool, like a show of hands. What was the Rio. I guess it was like Rock in Rio might have been.
Yeah,
03, I think.
If you have the first version that came out of that, it's horrendous because the crowd is so loud on the video. It's like unlistenable, in my opinion. And then I believe they had
I had the one disc version, but there was like 3 disc versions and more than that.
Well, there was that, but I'm talking about the Rio one you're talking about, the first one that came out, and then they remixed it a couple years later. And Alex Lifeson, I guess, was he was there when they were remixing it. And I guess
I'll grab them at some point. I'll grab
they kind of fixed it, but man, Adam kind of said it last night, guys, when he was talking about like, and I say this a lot too. It's like there's 3 guys in the band, and they're playing they're playing arenas, and the sound that they make. 3 dudes on this huge stage, and it doesn't seem empty.
The only other band that was the Police, I would say.
A lot of the show, Geddy has to hang out by his, in his station because he's doing the what is it called, John? Sorry, the bass
synth.
With his feet.
Right. Yeah, foot pedals.
The foot pedals with his feet.
Yeah,
and doing that, and then he's playing the keyboards as well. So it's like he's not moving around too much for some of the show. So it's like the fact that they can still command an arena stage, it was amazing to me.
What I think is interesting also to add to that, Jay, is, and I don't know if you mentioned this because I just jumped back in, but they were doing that before technology made it easy to do that. Mm-hmm. Like now, now bands play to triggers and backing tracks and all this shit that's sequenced, all these sequencers and stuff. And the guys in Rush in the 70s were out there playing full keyboards and bass, and and Alex plays foot pedals too. I mean, 3 guys at any given time.
And Neil would play all kinds of triggers and everything too. Neil had all the triggers and everything too.
So they did a lot of that stuff. I mean, when you talk about proficient bands, musical bands, it is really difficult to find a band. Bands like Yes, there are 6, 8 guys on stage making that sound. Mm-hmm. But Rush, 3 guys play 6 instruments. I mean, you're talking about guitar, bass pedals, synth triggers, all that stuff. And these bass lines that Geddy is playing, they're not Cliff Williams bass lines.
No, dude, he's a phenomenal bass player.
Absolutely.
And oh, by the way, he's singing the melody and playing the harmony. And like it's amazing that their brains can multitask at that level. I don't think that Rush has ever truly received the accolades that they deserve for being as good as they are live.
Yeah.
Phenomenal live band. I mean, the studio, you can do anything in the studio, as we know, but the idea that they've been able to do that live, and we're doing it live while other bands, before technology made it easy for bands to do that. Yeah,
that's true. I remember being in the my brother and I went to the what was the God damn, why can't I think of it right now?
The Place?
No, what album was after Test for Echo?
Vapor Trails?
Vapor Trails. We went to the Vapor Trails tour.
Wait a minute.
We didn't have good tickets. We were kind of like, if you're, let's see, how can I do this? If this is the arena and the stage is here, we were up here.
Oh, sure. I've had those tickets before.
So Neil had, that tour they had behind Neil Peart, they had this huge like flame that would pop up every once in a while. And like I said, we're in the upper, the upper tier, the whatever the hell. We were in the it was the Meadowlands, Continental Airlines Arena. Man, we felt that. It was like somebody just opened up the, obviously it's a couple seconds after, but it was like somebody opened up the oven. It was like, and I'm like, Neil Peart is like 10 feet in front of that thing. He's probably getting a tan every time, the thing gets set off.
Man,
it was hot as shit.
I love the subtle sense of humor, like, the rotisserie chickens, where the guy in the chicken outfit would come out and baste them, or the dryers,
or the vending machines,
the dryers between songs. Somebody comes out and puts quarters in the dryers. Mm-hmm. I mean, and the band doesn't react to it; they no sell the whole thing, which I think again. I saw Rick Emmett from Triumph do like an acoustic set where he told stories. It was almost like a storyteller's thing, and then he would play some Triumph songs. The Canadian sense of humor is super dry and super, super funny. And the guys in Rush, I think, had the best sense of humor about who they were.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and I
they'd
think,
open the show with the Three Stooges theme.
or you'd get Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys would do
Yeah.
Mike Smith, which, again, in and of itself, the fact that Alex Lifeson allowed himself to be on Trailer Park Boys and be kidnapped and shit. I mean, they were just a phenomenal band. And here's the thing that's kind of bothering me already. And this talk started a couple of weeks ago. The whole idea that Mike Portnoy is going to go out with Geddy and Alex and do like Rush stuff. I would be very, very disappointed if that happened. I think that Rush, one of the things that I love about them is that they've been credible their entire careers. And I think if they were to go out and do something with another drummer, would sort of tarnish that impeccable credibility.
Yeah, I don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah,
that was something that was planned already.
Well, it's been suggested on several occasions that would be the case, and
by other people though.
Yeah, I don't think Geddy and Alex. I mean, look, Geddy and Alex want to play.
Mm-hmm.
They want to play, but they don't want to do anything under the Rush moniker. So if they did something, it would be something different. So in my opinion, if they want to get together and write original music and go out with Portnoy, more power to them. But everybody knows that doesn't work.
Is it more comparing Portnoy to Neil Peart and saying that he would be a good replacement? Or is it like fans saying that?
He played on a pretty damn good Rush tribute album back in 94, 95, 90, something around there. There's where they had some really good people.
Yeah, no, I mean he's a phenomenal drummer and obviously a Neil Peart disciple. He's one of those guys that worships at the altar of Neil, and quite frankly that altar is huge. There are a lot of people that do that. I mean, there was drumming before Neil Peart and drumming after him. He basically took what Buddy Rich did and made it palatable for everybody. But there's another guy named Gavin Harrison.
Oh God, yeah.
Who is a phenomenal drummer, who would be great to go out and do that kind of thing. I think it'd be better if Alex and Geddy want to go out and do something non-Rush related to get somebody that's not a name, and especially a guy like Portnoy who is just so known for being a band jumper that it just doesn't seem like it would be something that lasts. Like anytime I see a band with Mike Portnoy in it, I know they're going to release one album and disappear.
Well, speaking of Portnoy, Sean Mahoney, he says, and obviously we don't know if this is, whatever, but there we go.
Right. No, he's right. No. But he did say, Sean, he also did say, no, there's no truth to the rumor, but if they asked me, I would be more than happy to do it.
Oh, shit. If he asked me, I would take a crash course in drumming.
I saw the meme. One of my favorite memes was the one that came out yesterday. It says, I think Neil Peart would be laughing at the fact that there are 100 bands in the town now looking for an easy Rush song to cover tonight.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I want to ask you guys, and I think this is a cool topic, but we all know that Eddie Van Halen basically, his influence over, especially like rock guitar and hard rock guitar, is like, especially the whole entire generation and just doing things that nobody had seen before. Do you think Neil? Well, I always say Peart, but I know it's Peart. But do you think Neil, I guess, holds that, crown, like the drummer that basically with rock and metal, the drummer you ask any of these guys, who was
still Bonham.
It's always maybe the generation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bonham. A lot of people would put Bonham first.
Maybe that's the generation before me. Then that's
Bonham, Keith Moon,
Moon, number 2,
and Neil Peart. I would say are the three most cited. If you asked,
I would say top 3, sure.
Yeah, those would be the guys that most people, I think Neil Peart's in the top 3, but I think Bonham is still the name drop.
The only other one would Nico McBrain, I think, is one of the best metal.
Well, no one's saying
hard
that.
rock
I'm
drummers.
talking about
just that
guy
influence
that kind of like got drummers to play.
Sure.
I would say Neil is probably the most technically superior drummer that we've ever seen.
And I would say he's a better
that's
technical drummer than
like
Bonham
Eddie,
and Moon.
Eddie kind of took what everybody was doing. He brought it up to this level, and I think Neil did kind of the same thing.
I think, and the thing that would support that statement is that Bonham dies in 1980, and Rush really
That's
hits
what I was
going to
say.
1980, 81.
That's
So
what I
it's
was going to
almost
say.
Yeah, Neil took the baton.
What
and
was the
probably
breakout Rush, kind of drum?
81.
Or
81.
just the breakout of Rush was around that time, yeah.
Yeah. But you're right, Jay. He's probably, I would say he's top 3. I think Bonham is still the guy that people name drop the most. But when you say who's the best drummer you've ever seen, I think Neil Peart gets mentioned more.
Yeah.
Bonham is that influence, but Bonham wasn't as technically proficient. I mean, Neil Peart, he's a guy that had 75 drums around him and used every one of them, and it wasn't excessive. Like every one of them fit. Even though
they all had a purpose. They all had a purpose.
He made the drums, in my opinion, another melodic instrument.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it wasn't just a rhythm instrument. He made it an essential part of the music. Like when you go back and listen to something like Analog Kid or something I was listening to today. I think it might have been Time Stand Still or something like that. There's so much going on drum wise, and it's never intrusive.
Mm-hmm.
Like he plays a shitload of stuff, different times and stuff on the ride and things that if another drummer did it, you'd be like if Yngwie Malmsteen plays his guitar and he puts a fill everywhere he needs to put it, you kind of go, Jesus, man, enough.
Yeah,
but when Neil Peart does it, it never seems overbearing or intrusive.
Well, and that's Rush. Everything has its place in Rush.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that as a drummer without sounding like, dude, stop.
Sure.
What do you do? You're overplaying.
No, you're absolutely
and that's
right.
as much a producer as well, to mix the drums properly and not overpower and stuff like that as well.
I don't think
plenty of bands have had that where it's one instrument can be overpowering.
We can all cite an instance where a singer oversings. I mean, Miles Kennedy is a great example of that. We can all cite an example of Yngwie overplaying, or even a Vi or Eddie, doing just too much at the time. But I don't think there's ever an example of Neil Peart overplaying.
Eddie never overplays to me, man.
I don't think so either.
Everything he does to me.
Well, he's another one where he knows exactly where to put it and where to put, every lick. And he's not playing over someone over a vocal or anything else.
Eddie can play one note, and to me, it's.
Well, I'm just going to tell you,
I know what you're saying.
My brother's 4 years older than I am. He's obviously the reason I got into all that music. And, Rush and Van Halen were like the first 2 bands that he got me into as a kid. So when he didn't know about the news. So at 4:20 p.m. on Friday, I sent him that link and he said, holy shit, I guess that's the real reason he stopped touring. And then he wrote, he's the reason I was a drummer. Because he played drums all the way through, high school and stuff like that.
Sure.
And that's what I'm saying. Like my brother is obviously, like I said, 4 years older than me, and then he wrote back 2 seconds later and said, Tom Sawyer just came on XM. And then I said to him, I said, remember when going to see Rush play, you'd look down at the floor and there's, however many people can fit on an arena floor, a couple thousand or whatever the hell it would be. All you see is arms flailing, air drumming.
Yep.
What other band can you think of? Rush, man, it's just air drums. It's great.
Well, somebody mentioned Paul Rudd earlier. What was that Paul Rudd movie where they had where Rush was in? I Love You, Man.
Oh yeah.
And they go to the Rush show.
Well, and the other thing that gets lost, and Sean Mahoney brought it up as well. The thing that gets lost, and I posted about this yesterday on Facebook, that gets lost in Neil Peart's brilliance is the songwriting and the lyrics. I mean, the shit that he wrote lyrically is so poignant,
right,
poetic. I mean, he really was a poet's poet. We talk about our favorite wordsmith, David Lee Roth, and we talk about guys like Steven Tyler and guys that can turn a phrase. But I mean, I quoted the lyric, "I can't pretend a stranger is a long-awaited friend." What a great lyric in Limelight. I mean, he wrote stuff like that. I mean, you talk about the trees.
And that was autobiographical.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the idea that they were that vulnerable and open lyrically. I mean, Neil is that, I think Rush wouldn't. I mean, you go to the first Rush album. The first Rush album is essentially a Zeppelin Sabbath record when John Rutsey was in the band. And the musical contributions that Neil, he could write these big epics like Xanadu and the Trees, which, by the way, is an amazing political statement about Canada and England that most people, if you're not a Rush fan, don't dig into lyrically. And then he would write a pop song like Time Stand Still, or Roll the Bones. And you're like, there are very few people that can write everything.
Did Geddy
with
Lee
such
ever write lyrics?
Geddy wrote some stuff, but Neil was the primary lyricist.
Right. That's
You
what
know,
that's what I
Geddy and Alex wrote a lot of the music because let's face it, Neil's a drummer. But the arrangements and the lyrics were mostly Neil. And they wouldn't be the band that they are or were had he not been in the band. They would have been good with Rutsy. That first Rush album's pretty good, but there's leaps and bounds from the first Rush album to Fly By Night.
Yeah, they became original.
Yeah.
Are there demos? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some Rush collectors. Well,
the best place
Paul,
to start.
you might know. Are there any demos like early demos of their songs with Neil singing the stuff?
Shit, I don't know. I don't know that he's a vocalist other than the rap in Roll the Bones.
And considering how shy, whatever you want to call it, shy or reclusive, he's probably not one to put himself.
Yeah, he was actually really an introvert of the highest order. I mean, part of the reason why he was surrounded by so many drums is that he could hide behind them too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he didn't like doing interviews or any of that shit.
It gave him a sanctuary, a place where he could just be in there and do his thing without being in the spotlight. And when you look at him, even in any of their concert videos, when the spotlight is on him, he's not real thrilled about it. You know,
well, he says it, and remember, I forget what it was on, but he was talking about how, it's very hard for him to understand how, he meets a fan or something, and they come up to him, and they're talking to him like they know him for like 30 years, and he's like, it almost like creeped him out, I think. And then the bass player from Rage Against the Machine tells a story. He met him backstage, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're Neil Peart." And he said Neil gave a look to somebody, and they got him out of the room. He didn't like that stuff, man. It's just like made him uncomfortable.
He never did meet and greets.
Yep.
He never did any of that stuff. Very rarely would he do interviews. But when he did do interviews, they were very poignant and amazing to watch.
Yes.
Clearly super intelligent. And look, the past few years, the past decade of his life, he's had, losing his daughter, losing his wife. He's had some tragic shit befall him, and yet he persevered through the whole thing. So, if there's any positive to be taken from this, it's that he's now with that family that he missed so much. And kudos to the Rush guys for being able to keep that under wraps. None of us knew.
Yep.
I can tell you, nobody in our radio station had any clue that he was that sick. You could see that in some of the last tours, the R40 tour and stuff like that, when he drummed, it seemed like he was drumming with a little bit more effort. But then he chalked that up to arthritis. Now, we don't know if the arthritis was code. He had brain cancer for 3 years. So that means that he was touring with brain cancer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's pretty amazing.
Mike himself says, "Watch Beyond the Lighted Stage." He's not a public guy. I think that's the video I was talking about with him saying that stuff. 7/8. Jim Nicholas says, "I can only imagine being Peter Criss in '74 watching Neil and the band open for them."
Well, the interesting thing about that is Peter Criss and Neil were actually friends. They both shared a huge affinity for Buddy Rich. Peter Criss was a pretty good jazz drummer. He was miscast in Kiss. He was actually when he was younger, he was a fairly good jazz drummer.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Not really a rock drummer. He came more from the Buddy Rich jazz school. And he and Neil shared that affinity.
Peter Criss. So he was a jazz cat.
See? Well done.
Good one, Johnny. I like that. But
wrong thing.
When you're in Kiss, you're basically, especially as a drummer, like they don't want you hot shotting it back there behind your kit. Hell no.
Kiss is a band that has you've never seen a band do so much with so little.
That's a good point.
As much as I love Ace Frehley, seriously, his riffs are awesome, but his technique is awful. And Paul Stanley, half the time he didn't play. Les Dudek and other guys punch those guitars in for him. Bob Kulick plays on a lot of the records. And Gene, we all know what Gene does. So, I talk about a band that they're the anti-Rush. Like, as good as Rush are as musicians, Kiss are mediocre as musicians and have been able to do amazing shit with very little technical acumen, and good for them.
Yeah, good. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't mad at them. I'm a huge Kiss fan, but Jesus.
There it is.
I was gonna say this is where you start if you're new
Yeah.
to Rush.
Sam
Beyond the
Dunn is
Lighted
awesome.
Stage, absolute one of the best documentaries of the last decade or last 20, the first decade of the 20th century, 21st century. Listen to me.
Kid that put that together is named Sam Dunn.
Yes, and he did several. I think he did
the
Anvil
Iron
too. Didn't
Maiden
he?
one.
Did he do
He
Anvil?
did, Metal: A Headbanger's Journey. He does. It's called Banger Films, is the name of his
Mhm.
production company, and he is a fantastic documentarian.
And we'll start at the beginning. I don't think this is the first live concert that they put
It's
out.
their first live video. Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say
This was
video.
one that people had out on Laserdisc. This was on Laserdisc
Yeah.
and everything.
I had it on Laserdisc. Yep.
And I think they had a CD as well for probably different tracks and everything. But that's a great, and it's also kind of behind the scenes too. They do like how they set up their show and everything. Then we got Show of Hands.
I love that one, man. Neil's got
great-
the what was it? The tail,
Yeah, the
Yes,
the rat tail going
Let's see if
on.
there's a picture of it. Oh, there's some
rat
great
tail
pictures.
and a little
Great
bit
pictures
of
in there.
dippity
That
doing.
tail.
Yep.
So was that 1986?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
somewhere
believe it
around
was
there, yeah.
86.
Because that's
86,
the rat. The
87.
rat tail was 86.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had one.
Where's Neil? I had one for a day and then I cut it off. 'cause
Yeah,
it
I
felt
tried to
stupid.
get one. My dad was like, "Oh no, no, you don't."
There's Neil.
I also had my ear pierced for like a day. I took it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
I wasn't one to flaunt anything like that.
The problem with having my ear pierced is my hair was so long you never saw it. So what was the fucking point?
So
Wow.
that's Show of Hands. I guess that wasn't their synth pop era, not synth pop.
Yeah, that
but
was
synth.
the thing with Rush, and this is an interesting thing too, and I think a lot of people went through this. Rush had so many different phases. They had obviously their Dungeons and Dragons phase. They had their epic prog rock. We're gonna do Yes better than Yes phase, and then they hit that sort of groove between 1978 and 1984, and then after. I think I kind of lost interest after Grace Under Pressure or Power Windows for a while, and then came back with Hold Your Fire. For whatever reason, they progressed. Like Grace Under Pressure and Power Windows went a little bit too far to the synth side, a little bit too far to sort of an avant-garde sound to it. And I think those songs, they were no longer mainstream mass appeal. And at the time, I was 17, 18 years old. I was listening to metal and shit and had no appreciation for what they were doing at that time. Now you go back and listen to those records and they're brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they were thinking about getting a keyboard player around that era, weren't they?
Well, they were doing so many keyboards.
Yeah.
That Alex wasn't, and I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody might be able to, a bigger Rush fan than I would be able to correct me on this, but I think Alex was unhappy at that time too.
Power Windows.
Because he was a big, he's a great guitar player, and they were phasing a lot of the guitar out of the songs, and I don't think he was real thrilled about.
No,
that.
he had said that especially on Power Windows, if you listen to that record, that's a keyboard driven record,
Right? Yeah.
and he had said like I had a hard time because I was trying to fit my guitar into the music as opposed to having the keyboards fit in, to what we were doing. And he said he just wasn't
I
big
really
fan of
think
that.
at that period of time, Alex played a lot like Andy Summers, where he was doing a lot of sort of heavy chorus and just sort of strumming accents. It was more percussive guitar playing than it was lead guitar playing. I think he was just sort of, because the keyboards had wound their way through everything, they were filling that space for him. So I think the guitar was more of an accent, very similar to what Andy Summers did with Police.
Yeah, Andy never did solos back in the day.
Right.
There was no solos on the records, really. He would do some solos live, and then when they did the reunion tour in 2007 and 8, it was the opposite. He was all solos. It was great. I love you, Andy. He's my man. He's my man.
I love the Police. I think the Police are one of the great underrated bands in music history.
Well, think about that alone. You know it's a great song when it fills the void of melody and you don't even notice that there was no guitar solo. Like
Right.
if you you just told me that, I'm thinking back, I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit. You never even noticed.
It was just all melodic and tasteful. Everything.
I mean,
whether it was a solo or not.
For the
lot
most
of
part.
ringing chords. A lot
For
of
the most
ringing
part.
chords. Yeah.
I mean, listen to Every Breath You Take.
Mhm.
There's no solo. Message in a Bottle. There's no solo. There's little licks here and there, but
yeah.
So Lonely had a solo, but Synchronicity 2 had a solo, but it was like craziness.
Yes.
Which is still awesome.
Yeah.
I have the
I like
That's
my favorite.
I have the I've got the basic tracks to Synchronicity 2, and the guitar solo is incredible.
Oh, really?
Just to hear what he's
Isolated?
doing.
You can send me that. You can send me that if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll put it in the Discord.
Jay's gonna do a new mix of it.
No, and I think that's like I said. I do think that Andy Summers, his influence, it can easily be felt in Rush's music. At least Alex Lifeson's playing in the mid to late 80s.
I think I would put those guys in the same category. It's very hard. Like there's such unique players where like I could never mimic Alex Lifeson.
Well, go back and listen to like something like La Via Strangiato. I mean, he's shredding on that song.
All three of them are.
Yeah, I mean, but he goes. I mean, people forget what a good guitar player Alex Lifeson is because you're in a band with Geddy Lee and fucking Neil Peart. Somebody has to be the weak link, and that doesn't mean that Alex is weak in any way, shape, or form. But it's like being Michael Anthony. You're in a band with Eddie Van Halen, Alex Van Halen, and David Lee Roth. Somebody has to be the ugliest member of Vixen.
Wow. You went there.
Actually, my friend Tyson Leslie is the ugliest member of Vixen.
The ugliest member of the Bangles, or
he's.
We know who that was.
Road manager.
yeah. We did that.
Figured that out a few weeks ago. Ozzy Osbourne is the ugliest member of the Bangles. remember in was it Black Sheep with David Spade and Chris Farley?
Oh,
remember they're in the cabin. It's Ozzy Osbourne when the bat comes out.
I don't remember that scene, but that's
Oh,
good.
God.
I remember that movie.
My favorite line in that whole movie is when he goes, Tommy Boy, what are you doing? I'm retarded.
Oh my gosh,
That's gonna leave a mark. Son of a.
those movies are great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually, all of those. Another show that has our same initials, SNL. All those movies are awesome.
Yeah.
all those films, they're just
A lot of them,
hilarious.
except for the ladies' man. And-
Yeah, there's a few that were. What
And
was
his
the
Pat.
Stuart Smalley?
Yeah.
I think Jeannie watched that 2 nights ago.
The-
I meant the good ones.
was it the
Yeah.
Animal?
The good ones are
Rob
good.
Schneider.
I thought
Actually, the I will say the Molly Shannon one was actually was pretty funny. What was it? Superstar. That's a good one.
Yeah.
when you watch it the second time, it's better.
Was that the Rob Schneider one? The Manimal? No.
I don't know. Could be.
That's a huge. No, that was a Male Gigolo, whatever the hell it was.
Joe Dirt. I don't know if that was considered SNL, but David
Well,
Spade.
all I know is the first time my father watched Black Sheep, when Chris Farley rolls down the hill. Remember that when he falls down? I thought my dad was going to pee his pants. I still remember that.
I have a friend that used to work in Chicago radio, and he said that their radio station was in the Hancock Tower in Chicago, and Chris Farley also lived in that building. That building has both residential and commercial offices and shit in it. And I guess Farley would, like, in the middle of the night or early in the morning, would come down the elevator and walk into the radio station in his bathrobe with a drink and just hang out
Oh
for
wow,
no reason.
that's
Already drunk, huh?
That's what I'd do if I was a celebrity in
Yeah, because
3 floors, 10 floors down was a radio.
Yeah, he was
station.
all fucked up, and he just needed someone to hang out with. So he'd get loaded and just show up at the radio station. Of course, they were like, "Fuck yeah, come on in."
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's a great story.
Oh, there's got to be tapes of that.
Well, that's like a Bill Murray story.
You know,
story.
if he's on,
Yeah.
if he was on air, that's
Yeah.
got to be on YouTube.
No, they've got tapes of him. Yeah, they've got tapes of him. No, in Boston, Peter Wolf and Amy Mann used to live together, and they were in the same building as one of the radio stations in Boston. So everybody would try to get them. Well, Peter Wolf was a radio guy. He started out as a radio guy. So they would try to get him on the radio.
WSDLX. I mean, he still has I think once in a while he'll have his own Saturday night special on ZLX.
Yeah, he was on WBCN. He was the overnight on WBCN. He was the overnight guy for a while before Jay Giles popped big.
Hey, can I interrupt real quick?
Absolutely.
Unboxing time?
Not yet. We never did a roll
Bathroom
call.
time?
Yeah, I think I'm going to hit
Do a
that
roll
too.
call.
And what's the date? We never said what the date was either.
I
Hey,
did.
come on, John BL.
I
He did.
go
John
back to the
Bielsa was
beginning.
12th in Boston.
Did you?
Yes.
We started half an hour late.
Oh, so we had the roll call before we went live.
Yeah.
Jay, go ahead. Let's do some roll call.
I did a roll call last night.
Paul, go ahead.
I'm
Oh,
still
you want me
waiting
to do this?
for you to top John Mancuta's 10-minute roll call that one show.
Let's go.
Jeannie and I were listening in the car, and we were just like,
Christopher
He's still
Caruana will say
going.
hello to, Tom Harhai. Michael Smith will say hi to. Metal Soda, of course, David
Michael
Scher.
Smith, the captain.
Michael Smith, the captain. Hang on. Mike is himself is in there. Hugh Caldwell is with us. Who else did I miss? Jim Nicholas. Of course, I missed Jim Nicholas. Why wouldn't I?
Hey now.
Mad Dog. We're all good there. And I think that is everybody. I don't think
It's
So we got
84, 84 people.
10 people watching tonight? All right.
well, just, 84 people, but I'm just looking at the chat. I'm
Yeah.
looking at people who chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with YouTube is,
Yeah,
we've
say hi out there.
there's 84 people watching, but not necessarily. Well, yeah, I would think. Oh, listen to that. I would think anybody that's here, they're here because they know that we're on, meaning they're probably subscribed.
Subscribers.
Andrew
And if
Walton,
you're not,
hello.
make sure to subscribe. But I guess not everybody, I guess, says hi in the chat, I
Parsons.
guess.
Right.
AI Gaming. Who else we got? I'm doing everything I can to try and see everybody's names, but
You know
I
what
know.
you do? You know what you do? Is you say, hey, in the chat, let us know where you're from. Where are you watching from right now? And
Absolutely, yeah.
the chat will start moving.
Les Ballon,
You'll get
Or
you'll get
Bellin.
your names.
Zach Thong. Sorry about that, buddy. I didn't see you earlier. Han 36 Solo. The other 35 Han Solos couldn't be with us tonight. Mickey Settlemeyer, of
Look
course.
out.
Dutchy
The chat-
5150.
It's
There
gonna
you
start moving. Look out. It's gonna start.
Mhm.
Look out.
Look out. Get your glasses.
Mellow Flat 41 is from Detroit, and I just want to say I was watching
Frank
earlier.
Corcoran.
I found a great video of the Rolling Stones, Detroit 1981, and they do a whole. It's like a documentary behind the scenes. I only found it tonight, and it's a whole like building the whole. They do the whole building the stage. They do the whole like meet and greet behind the scenes, and this was 1981, so it was cool to see. Just the Stones hanging out. It was like a whole 2-hour documentary just before they even go on to do the show. And then they show the whole Pontiac Silverdome full with, and then they do the whole show, and it's all from one camera. So I think it was like news footage that one camera
Nude footage.
guy
Nude
one
footage?
camera guy went out and filmed. But it was cool. Detroit. So that's a shout out to Detroit.
Every time somebody talks about something from Detroit, I flash back to Decline of the Western Civilization, where that band Seduce is talking about how they're the biggest band from Detroit.
Well, in the 80s, who was the poster child of Detroit was it Motor City Madman?
Probably.
Ted
Nobody
Nugent.
thinks of Naked Gun. Which one is Nordberg? What are you doing in Detroit? Remember that scene? We'll get a new pair of pants and
Also, if you're going to mention the Naked Gun, then all the Zucker Brothers movies, Detroit was a constant joke. I think it's in Kentucky Fried Movie where they're doing Fistful of Yen.
Kentucky Fried
it's
Movie.
full of that's
Fistful of Yen. And he goes, take him to
Wow.
Detroit. He goes, no, not Detroit.
Detroit. That's right.
All I remember from that is Catholic school girls showering.
Catholic
That
high school
scene.
girls in trouble.
Yeah, in trouble, whatever it was.
Big Jim Slade.
That the one with the jugs against the shower glass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it sounds like it's squeaking.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, when I came back from Nam, I had terrible Namthrax. I was bedridden, and that's when I would watch movies. And Kentucky Fried Movie, that was one movie that I remember watching a couple times.
Kentucky Fried
What
Movie
an
and
absurd
Amazon Women on the
movie.
Moon are fucking great.
Yeah.
Yo, the bravest man in the world. Yeah, Tom Harhide. Remember and by the way, that was Ted Stryker, the bravest man in the world. They recycled that name in Airplane.
Oh.
Ted Stryker
Wow.
is the guy that walks into Detroit. He walks into the group of guys that are pitching coins or playing shooting dice, whatever it is, and he's the only Caucasian.
Jeff Stryker?
No, Ted Stryker. Oh, Rex Kramer. Sorry,
Rex
you're right.
Kramer.
Rex Kramer. Tom.
Rex Kramer, Danger Seeker.
Yes, Rex Kramer, Danger Seeker.
Which one was that? Was that the
Let's not talk about it. We'll get flagged.
who played Rex Kramer?
It always reminded me of Rick
that was-
Moranis.
No, Rex Kramer was
That was Robert Stack.
Robert
Okay,
Stack. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Unsolved Mysteries.
Was it?
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Stack. Yeah,
Holy.
Robert Stack was Rex Kramer.
Robert Stack.
Man.
Unsolved Mysteries.
No way. Wait, hold on. Rex
No, that
Rex
was
Kramer in Airplane.
in Airplane.
So
In
No,
Airplane.
we're talking about Rex Kramer
I
from
know.
I know, but it was a recycled name. I had the Ted Stryker wrong.
Okay.
It's still Rex Kramer.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
Tom how do you say his last name again? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Hi.
Harhide.
He said, yeah, he was in the Evil Knievel jumpsuit. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Comes strolling across the train tracks.
Go across the train tracks, yes. Right in the middle of the dice game.
Get that motherfucker.
And he just yells and it just starts running.
Oh, so good.
That was the
Yeah,
first of those complete goofball comedies.
Tom says he's
One of the first.
part-time airline mechanic, full-time daredevil. That's
Yeah.
right.
There-
Yep.
The first Zucker Brothers movie that was like that was called The Big Bus. And it was about an atomic powered bus that was going down a mountain like out of control.
Really?
And it was basically Airplane in a bus. And that was
Wow.
early on. And then they did the Kentucky Fried Movie and Amazon Women on the Moon. Then they did the Airplane movies. Then they did Police Squad. Then they did
The TV series Police Squad.
Police Squad.
Yeah.
The TV series only had, I think it was only 6 episodes.
You're right,
Yeah.
but they played them to death on Comedy Central.
Oh yeah. No,
I remember
Police Squad was awesome.
when they were desperate for programming, and they repeated the same ones over and over.
Can I ask any either Police Squad or, well, I guess you'd be both, but Naked Gun fans out there, when you're in the supermarket or when somebody brings over a dessert and it's like fudge, does anybody else say, "Hey, Frank's never fail fudge"? And do you get no laugh like I do? Because anytime my mom makes fudge sometimes, and we go to the local food store, they have a section with a bunch of desserts, and Jeannie's always like, "Hey, let's get some fudge," and I always say it. And anytime I say it, nobody laughs. But you know what? I say it anyway because I think it's fun.
Tom Harhide likes it.
Frank's never fail fudge.
Yeah.
I love the fact that as a grown ass adult, we get our jollies about these ridiculous, like random quotes. And this is how I make a living. Just random quotes. And you just and you hope somebody out there gets it. And if they don't, you're disappointed. Not
Right.
with the fact that you're an adult quoting a fucking movie, but the fact that they're just like they're not part of the club if they don't get the joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I love I made a Charisma reference this week because we were talking about how pathetic David Lee Roth sounded doing Dance the Night Away in Vegas. Just awful, just terrible. But I was like, Dave was never a great singer. He got by on Charisma and we no-sold it completely. And like 10 minutes later, the phone rings. The guy goes, "Nice Just a Gigolo reference. Well done." And hung up. I was like, all right, cool.
Jeannie said she doesn't laugh because I say it every time. I could understand that.
Yes, but repetition breeds familiarity.
Right.
An annoyance. She's probably like, "Oh my God, is he gonna?" I'm not even gonna ask if we can get the fudge tonight because he's gonna say.
But then in like 5 years it'll be funny again. For about for a week or so. That's how that kind of works.
Did anybody see some Facebook news tonight? Andrew Walton says, "Have we?" Oh shit! It just scrolled away. He said, "Have we spoken about the Jem Ibanez Facebook group yet? The fiasco that happened about 5 hours, 6 hours ago with David Lee Nesdal."
Well,
got
you
thrown
know
out?
that group.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when there's I don't know, maybe I got past security or something, but you know, when there's groups and you join and they ask you questions, you have to answer like all these questions to get in.
How big is your member? And
Yeah. I clicked join. The question thing popped up and then disappeared, and then it said I was a member. I didn't have to answer anything.
they knew who the F you were, man. That's why. It's like it came up. No, it's Johnny Beane.
I got right in. I got right into that group.
No lube or nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Speaking
Oh,
of
man.
Facebook posts.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw the Nesdal post.
Yeah. So he.
Is he awake?
No, I think he was a little tired earlier when I talked to him, but
Yeah, I texted
That was
him
2
earlier.
or 3 hours.
yeah, there's a
ago.
Jem Ibanez RG Universe Facebook group. It's got like 22,000 members, so I doubt the guy's angry about it. But so Nesdal posted a picture of his
Steinberger.
Steinberger GL2T and said, I'd be willing to, kind of like putting out feelers about maybe trading it for a certain model gem. Like, was it a multicolored gem or something like that?
Yeah, it's the Gem 77 GMC, the green multicolor. It's like a green swirl.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he apologized. He said right before the post, he said, "I apologize if this isn't allowed, blah, blah, blah." The next thing you know, like the guy, the moderator, messages Dave and said, "Did you think this was okay?" or something.
Well, yeah.
And Nesdal, I guess, kind of being a smart ass back, was like, "I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission." Kind of like tongue in cheek,
Right.
Next
sure.
thing you know, ban.
Good reply.
Ban. So next thing you know, they're going back and forth.
Yeah.
Nesdal's on the phone with me, fired up as he's like going back, messaging this guy back and forth, right? So I'm like, Dave,
Yeah.
don't, I'm trying to tell him, like, don't say that. No, don't say that. You're gonna regret it. Don't say. So next thing you know, we hang up. He calls me back a little while later, and he's like, I'm folding laundry downstairs. One of the few chores I did today around the house. My wife will tell you I didn't do
What,
shit,
you want a fucking medal?
but a tiny one. I got so he's like, "Hey, I'm reading the rules and guidelines of this group." And right in here, he starts reading. He's like, something about you cannot post about other guitar companies or other guitars unless you are looking to trade that guitar for an Ibanez guitar. And I'm like, well, holy shit, it's right there.
Right.
So I guess he took I said, take a screenshot of that and message it to the guy. He's like, I just did. And I guess the guy never checked it, but I mean, it's such stupid
Why you
crap.
gotta be so sensitive about that? I mean,
It's
geez.
just dumb. All the guy should have said is, "Hey, I'm deleting the post, blah, blah, blah." And I'm sure Nesdal would have been like, "That's fine. I apologize." But the way the guy
He
was
already
Right.
apologized up front.
Sorry if this isn't cool.
Wow.
He already apologized in the original email.
yeah, I mean, the guy should have just commented and say, "Hey, this isn't allowed.
Next time, don't do that."
Yeah, I gotta take it down, whatever. But it's just dumb. Some of these guys get in charge of these, Facebook groups, and they're like, "Oh,
Well, they're like hall monitors.
yes."
You got
Rico B's from Arizona. You smell anything funny out there in Arizona, Rico B?
What are the aliens doing out there?
It smells weird.
Paul, do you see any strange lights out there? I'm a huge alien
Yeah,
guy. You can tell I
Yeah, we
got
did.
Yeah, we were talking about that
We
earlier.
actually saw the
Phoenix
the
Lights.
string of lights early this week. There was a string on Tuesday, and it turns out it may have been reflectors off of the satellites that Elon Musk had launched. He's launching a series of satellites.
His
He's
Tesla
trying-
car that's out there. Is that
No, he's trying
Elon
to do
Musk?
an internet,
Elon Musk,
a
right?
world-linked internet, satellite internet situation where the
Right.
entire world will have.
That's right. The little mini sats.
So I think that's what they're saying it is. But look, Jay, I'm with you on this thing. I think the idea that the universe is supposed to be infinite.
Here we go.
This is the only place. Okay.
Let's get comfortable.
Well, there's a few ways of thinking.
I love this too.
I don't argue with the people that say, I do believe they're out there. I don't believe that they're visiting us. Okay, I can understand that way of thinking. But I don't understand people that are like, nope, we're the only intelligent life in the whole universe. And I'm like,
Right.
holy shit. Get over yourselves.
No, I think I think we have as a species have a hard time accepting I don't know as an answer. I don't know. I mean, is it out there? Maybe. I don't know. You don't know.
Guess that's kind of what I will say. I think there's absolutely life beyond Earth.
Sure, there is.
Whether it's intelligence, I think somewhere out there there's intelligent life.
We better hope there's not, because if they can figure out how to get here, I believe it was Perry Farrell who said, "We'll make great pets."
Yeah,
I don't know. I think if I don't know who it was, but somebody made a great point and said, well, not a great point. We have no idea if this is true or not because whatever. But for a species for a civilization to advance to the point of intergalactic travel and all this like speed of light and all this shit, you have to be peaceful, because as human beings, we all know we're warlike on this planet.
Well, it's an animal behavior.
We're going to kill ourselves
Right.
before we're able to travel the stars.
And we're nowhere near the point of intergalactic travel.
No.
You know, but that's 500 to 1,000 years anyway. I mean,
And I'm
it's
going to
not
get crazy here, but
far
I
more.
have to, and I'll try to leave it at this. But my opinion is that civilizations know that we're here and we're under quarantine. Think about it this way. Think of the zoo, right? What are you doing?
scratching the dog to try and appease him.
Oh,
You
I was
all
like,
right?
who are you waving to? Is there somebody in the chat you want to say hi to?
No, Lemmy is
You-
just looking for attention.
I
waving,
think our-
waving to the aliens, dude. I'm scared to death of them coming down and
Don't be scared. Don't be
taking
scared.
over, man.
You don't look that scared, Johnny.
We're under quarantine. I think we're under quarantine. They know that we're here. They're keeping an eye on us. Like
If they're out there, then I think you're right. I think they know we're here. But
why would you let a civilization that we're fighting on this planet all the time? Would you let this out there if you knew that it was like a tinderbox?
Mhm.
No, you're going to say you're staying there until you guys figure
give them
it out.
1,000 years, and we'll check back in.
Might be more than that, but
Well, yeah.
Again, I just think the idea that anything can be infinite and then we put a finite parameter on it, I think is ridiculous.
And the human thought, I mean, is we can't think of. Imagine a
We
civilization that's a
Or
million
in
years.
this planet yet.
But think of a civilization. If there's a civilization out there that's been around for 1,000,000 years more than we have, think of how advanced,
Mm-hmm.
and not just technologically, but spiritually and the
Right.
thought of everything. Like it's just we
Well,
couldn't
here's
even.
the thing. You can't tell people that aliens aren't real and then tell them to believe in Jesus.
Well, let's not get
your
the whole,
belief. No.
religious thing, because
Your
that's-
beliefs are your beliefs.
Mhm.
You're entitled to your beliefs. You're entitled to whatever belief you want to believe. Have at it.
Well, I
Now,
agree with that.
when it can be proven wrong, like the world is fucking flat, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But your belief system is your belief system. If you want to believe there are aliens, if you want to believe in Buddha, if you want to believe in Allah, if you want to, those are your beliefs. As long as fuck it, you believe whatever you want.
I agree with that.
We
Yep.
spend way too much time trying to tell other people how to behave.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, because I don't know is such a scary phrase for people to deal with. Is there life after death? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's where I land.
That
on
doesn't
it.
mean there isn't.
I don't
That
know.
doesn't mean there is.
Favorite Van Halen album? You're an asshole.
Van Halen. Well, we all know that Van Halen 3 is the epitome of Van Halen.
I'm sure.
You can't argue with that.
I'm sure there's some people out there that maybe that was the first Van Halen album they heard.
And God
that's
love
their
him.
favorite album.
It's Gary
God love
Sharon's
him. Let him
favorite
have it.
album.
Dude,
Yeah.
That's the thing is every day there's somebody hearing something for the first time.
Yep.
And speaking of Gary Sharon, I'm friends with his brother on Facebook.
Mark?
No.
Oh.
Is it Greg?
Yeah.
and he had reposted that Gary Sharon. Gary Sharon is playing a. He's in a Who tribute. A Who tribute.
Slip Kid, yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing a show coming up.
Yeah, no, Gary's a super talented guy, as we all know. If anybody in the chat is looking for some cool Gary Sharon, Gary and Mark made 2 records under the name Hurt Smile, band called Hurt Smile.
I checked them out not too long ago. You told me about them, Paul.
Yeah,
and
very good band. Marcus is a fantastic guitar player. He was in a band called Flesh. If you're into bands that sound like Extreme, there was a band called Flesh that Nuno put out on his own record label way back in the 90s. But Marcus is a sick guitar player. Gary and Marcus have 2 records under the Hurt Smile moniker, and then Gary is also in a Who tribute band, and he also does a lot of like Broadway, like theater stuff. So,
you don't say.
Yeah, he's a little on the theater side.
Oh, he's theater.
He's perfect for that.
No, he's great. He's great. No, super talented guy, really nice guy. I wish he would be better. Like I wish he would have done better, because
he's still making cash money from Extreme. Oh
no, Extreme goes and plays in Japan, and they're like Mr. Big in Japan. They can do like an entire national tour of Japan and make 7 figures.
But I'm sure more than words, he's still getting boatloads of cash rolled in for that.
Sure.
Yeah, I would think that Extreme would be bigger than Mr. Big in Japan.
No, Mr. Big is massive in Japan.
Mr. Big is big, but Extreme is extreme.
Is extreme. Is extremely big.
That, but now I got it.
They should change the name to Mr. Extremely Big.
They got to go on tour together. Yeah,
that's if like they.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, where's that selfie of me? I have a selfie with Gilbert and Nuno, which is
imagine
right in the middle of that.
Those 2 in a band together. Holy shit.
I should have told them, hey, you guys should join up. Where's that picture? Let me show that.
Yeah, I'm looking for a funny picture of me and Gary. I'm at the Saddle Ranch in LA, right next to the Hyatt, with a buddy of mine, and we're just having some buffalo wings and just making fun of people. And there's this guy over at the bar, surrounded by women, just surrounded like he's holding court. And my buddy and I are like, look at this asshole. Oh, that's Gary. So we walk over to say hi, and Gary's like, hey man, how you doing? We're like, what's up? Like, you want to go drinking somewhere? So we go drinking, and some girl gives Gary her fucking headshot instead of a phone number. Handed him a fucking headshot. He put it in his fucking in his jacket and walked out. I was like, that's the most LA thing ever.
All right, well, real quick. Yeah, if we're not friends on Facebook, most of you have probably never seen this. But this was a few years ago. Right there.
Great picture. It almost looks like you're superimposed between the 2 of them.
So the reason,
Photoshop job.
Well, I have others, and so I know it's real. But plus, I was there.
But the reason why Johnny shaved before this name is he's hoping that both of those gentlemen will recognize him.
I see both of them every year. Nuno walked right past me last year. I didn't bother him. Because you just see all those guys. Let me see.
I just sent it to you guys through Facebook.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we're in the Saddle Ranch, just fucking. I'm hammered. You can tell because I got a grin on my face. And Gary's like, "What are we doing here?"
Oh, nice.
Just married.
Like, what?
Just married.
Yeah, that was before. Right before Tribe of Judah came out.
Cool.
So.
Oh yeah, you want us to show that?
Yeah, I don't care.
Hey, Nerd Hale is playing in front of like 800 cats tonight, man.
Really?
Yeah.
800 cats.
That's a lot of cats.
Ned, how come Ned didn't get the news?
Ned hasn't. He might be over there.
This is beautiful. A buddy of mine just sent me a link to a story of a man whose truck got stolen while he was robbing a store across the street.
Michael Smith, you posted about that, right?
Dumbest criminals.
Yeah. Quiet, Lemmy.
Oh
Jesus.
man. Lemmy,
She's singing out there. She probably needs to go out and take a shit. Hang on.
go take care of that.
I got you.
So Nerd Halen, they're on stage now, right?
They might be, yeah.
Like it
Where's
was
the
either
live feed?
it was either 10 or 10:30 that they were starting, and it's 10:38 out here now. So that means they're on right now.
Where are they playing tonight? What's the club? Do you know?
Something
I saw the couple of the posts.
gas lamp
Yeah, and it had the
Something?
EVH wall in it.
in the bathroom.
Gasworks.
Yeah, you showed that. I mean, some of those places they do have. Some places do live stream. John Bill.
Oh, that'd be effing awesome, dude.
See if you can find like a live stream to that.
Ooh,
Although,
what's it called? Is it the gas lamp in Hollywood or?
nah, well, let's see.
Dutchy 5150 says Roth is on stage right now as well. A friend of his is there.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. Tell
Did
him
you
to
guys-
send you a video so we can play it.
Yeah. I was sitting here late last night because we were live last night, of course, and then a few hours later, I found what was it, the debut show of him in Las Vegas, like the entire show,
Yes.
and I was actually sitting here watching most of it,
You sent it to me, didn't you?
and I don't know,
With a heart attached to it, I think.
I can't remember last night, but I thought it was pretty good.
You know,
I didn't think it was what people are saying, you know.
some of the songs, I think, like California Girls,
I didn't see that one.
Just Like Paradise, and Unchained were like, oh my God. But we watched Panama earlier, and Panama wasn't bad. You know, it was like, you know. But here's the thing.
I don't know if this is a live shot or what, but this is from the gas lamp in Long Beach. And there it is, Def Leppard, Pyromania. Well, that doesn't have the Nerd Halen.
What? They're playing with Def Leppard?
Pyromania.
No, that's not a live shot. That's like a
No, look.
That's
hold
just
on.
a still to
Right,
make it
well,
look like it's cool.
This is the promo.
Okay, so there's a Def Leppard band,
Def Leppard tribute.
just like
Pyromania.
Priest, just like Priest.
like really,
And then Dia. I wonder if that's Dia.
probably Dio tribute with a female singer, because that shit ain't easy to sing, man. Probably got a chick singer.
Def Leppard, Pyromania.
The thing is, man, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm really into. I mean, everybody, you're all on Facebook. You know, a couple of you guys might be on Twitter. You know, maybe. But yeah, I'm on like every platform there is. I check into like everywhere. And one of the coolest apps that hasn't really taken off, but it actually is a great tool is Periscope.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Twitter's version of like a live
That's
feed.
been around for a while.
It's been around for years. And so years ago, like let's say when Van Halen was on tour in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
like if we knew they were playing, I could
Right.
check into Periscope and I could find a
Yeah, I
live
saw
feed
several of those.
of them
yeah.
playing.
Mhm.
You know, so I would say, hey, check Periscope to see if the Nerd Halen show. But it's sad, like not so many people stream to that. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know.
Periscope was like what was that website that was going to be the next social media thing that nobody fucking signed up for?
I've got it.
Earlier,
Yeah, I'm on it.
was it 2018 or something? Maybe that started.
No. This was a couple of years ago. This was a few years ago. It was
Vero.
Vero.
No, it wasn't Vero. It was
wasn't-
something else.
I swore I was gonna post on there this year. Google Plus.
Nope.
God.
No,
I loved
forget what-
Google Plus was great. I loved it, but nobody was there. It was just nerds.
This was one that you had to be invited to. Remember,
Didn't
like
that last
somebody-
for a month or so?
Vero.
Couple months.
No,
Uh,
not Vimeo. No, not Vero.
I mean, you have to be. I mean, in the beginning, you have to be invited. Like I was inviting people to Google Plus in the very beginning.
Yeah, this wasn't that. I can't remember the name of it. Hold on. I might actually. It might be in a signature of mine.
Johnny
somewhere.
probably still has the app on his phone.
I deleted the MySpace app, although I still have my pages. I'm you know,
I still have a MySpace page somewhere.
don't delete anything. Keep everything out there because you never know.
No, delete everything.
I'm gonna look and see if I still have the signature
Well,
somewhere.
let's ask the chat people.
John Parson is saying waves. That wasn't it. Well, as far as the one, Johnny and I think are the same one because he sent me the invite to that one. And then I got on it and realized after 2 weeks, I was like, this ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere.
This one was garbage. This was a garbage. Nobody joined up for it. Let's see, what is it called? I mean, I've already taken it off one of my signatures. That's how fucking old it is.
Should I get another sippy poo, drinky poo over here?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. What time is it?
It's only 1:45.
Get a little more
So early.
to go. Yeah, I'm looking at their Facebook page of the gas lamp. We could call them. Do you want to call and see what's going on there?
Call over there.
Yeah, maybe we can hear some Nerd Halen.
Call them and tell them to stream.
Yeah, okay.
Tell them we're live. We got 100 people looking at this, and we want to stream. We want to, promote their venue.
We want to promote Nerd Halen.
And Nerd Halen.
Yep.
Well, why don't we just call Nerd Halen and tell them to stream?
Because they might be on stage. They're
on stage right now.
Mad Dog says he's 8 drinks in. Jesus, I'd be on the floor.
Yeah, I can't find any live stream or anything. I don't think they have any kind of live stream going on. So I'm going to stop trying to figure that out.
Steve Carmichael says Dave did sing the second verse in Unchained twice, both nights. Again, he's 65. Well,
Jeez.
I get that. But at the same time, if you're going to continue to perform live and charge money to see you, you're open to criticism. So,
how do you forget the lyrics to one of the most popular songs? He plays every night. He's played that every night for the last at least God knows how many 40 years.
Doesn't matter, man.
Well, not every night, but so what? He's saying he's saying the second verse. What?
Yeah, he opened with the second verse.
Yep.
Oh, the song.
Yep.
Well, that's cool.
Ed changed the solo several times.
That's cool. Yeah, in the Oakland Unchained video. Yeah, Eddie went into the verse early.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was awesome.
It happens, man.
I mean, it fits perfectly.
But the Michael Anthony looking at him is like, what the hell is he doing over there? Oh shit! That's the best thing about it, man.
One of the best concert videos ever.
Thinking, because that's what happens. I mean, anybody that's played live, we all have a story of, somebody messes up in the band, and it's the worst when the drummer messes up because everybody falls apart. If the drummer loses his spot in the song, everybody is thinking, okay,
that's the drummer's only job.
Well, no.
No, every drummer in every band should be Neil Peart. Peart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
if you're not,
needs to
put
be
yourself out there.
Right on.
Yeah.
If the drummer is off at all, forget it.
Yeah, forget it. You're right.
For everybody.
Yep. We were playing in, I want to say St. Louis, and our drummer, at the end of the guitar solo, I hold out a high note, and there's a drum fill. I'm trying to think how the hell it happened, but all as I know is the drummer. I almost hit the drummer. Jesus Christ.
Let's hear it for the keyboard player.
The thing that screwed the whole thing up, right? There's a part right before, if anybody wants to know what I'm talking about, it's my band's name is Gizmachi. The song is The Answer. There's a section right before it's during the bridge where each instrument is doing like a different time signature. So it's like rhythm over rhythm. Somebody's doing 7/8, somebody's doing 4/4. The vocals are doing like I don't know. I forget what the hell it was.
7/8. I've heard of that.
So it's super crazy. You know what I mean? So me and the other guitar player had a vocal harmony going during this. So the guitar, it went like just a straight, I don't know if it was 3/4, whatever it was, but then our vocal part was 4/4 over top of it. So that was hard enough. And then it goes into the solo, and then the outro part of the solo gets crazy, and the drummer kept the part going out of the solo, and then everybody just came in at a different part at the part after the solo, and it just fell apart. It was like, holy shit. And I remember looking down, and there was a handful of kids that, there wasn't many of our fans out there, whatever. But there was a group of people right in the front, this pocket, nice pocket. And they were looking at me like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? And they thought it was like we were adding a part to the song. And I was like, no, after the show, they like came up to us and they mentioned that. And they were like, we thought it was a new part of the song. I was like, no, that was us messing up.
We get the exclusive.
We would do a sign language for when that happened. When something went wrong, I'd like if something went wrong on stage, you just go over to the guitar player and tap him on the shoulder and just go, because he clammed it. Nice clam.
Yep.
So, anything that happened, the drummer would fuck up. He would say, if something would go wrong, I could hear him while we're playing. He'd be like, nice clam. It's great, but you see now, Jay, like you could say it was like some fucking, it's some freeform metal band that's just trying to, just show how dexterous they are. And then as long as, you can fuck up and do everything along, as long as you come back on the one and everybody's in the groove, like,
we didn't come back on the one.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't come back on the one
if you can all come together at the end.
Back around to the one, you're good.
We came back on the...
You can jazz it up, all you want, and then as long as somebody's on it, and everybody jumps right back in onto.
Yeah, you gotta come back around to the one. As long as everybody gets around to it, you're good.
Yeah, but when all the band members are all of a sudden are like get whiplash looking at the drummer.
Oh yeah,
the drummer's looking like.
Yeah. The drummer's like, call the police.
I don't know what I am.
You look over, the drummer's an octopus.
No, the drummer's packing up his drums in the middle of the song.
You look over, the drummer left.
Yeah.
Or spinal tap. He turns into a little green stain.
He's like
drummer
Rick Tamlin. Rick Tamlin in Anchorman. He's with the other crew, just looking at you guys, going, "I'm not part of this."
Brick.
Is anybody getting the digital clipping from Paul's mic, or is it just me?
Yeah, I hear it.
That sound? Is it him?
No, because I'm hearing it from you.
I think it happened last week. Can you jump out and jump back in? I think that fixed it.
I'm getting clipping from you. I'm getting clipping from everybody. So
I hear it.
So that must be you.
I just heard it.
All right, I'll bunch out, jump out, and jump back in.
I don't know who it is. Is it still there?
Who?
Can we still hear it?
Hey, any clipping?
Man, speaking of Anchorman, Anchorman 2.
Such a good show. Well,
Anchorman 2. The scene where they're in the Winnebago and like they're like, who's driving?
Yeah.
And the thing rolls over. That's the
they got the bowling ball.
Ever seen in my life.
He starts his fryer later.
He's like,
I'm sure glad I installed this fryer later.
Why do you have this bag of bowling balls here?
Yeah. Scorpions, a terrarium of scorpions.
That's the craziest thing ever, man.
It's cruise control.
It just drives. That doesn't mean it just drives itself.
That's like the fourth Paul Rudd reference of the night.
Oh my God.
No! Now we moved. I gotta leave and come back.
Let's all shift it around. Here we go. Oh,
should we all shift?
The OCD has kicked in.
I'm not going anywhere. There we go. It's you and me, Paul.
Oh. Speaking of Paul Rudd, he was my friend. Well, Paul, my buddy Phil Hendry. He was in a film with Paul Rudd called This Is 40.
That was a good film.
Where he
Yeah, I
did a
remember
scene where he was the guy. He opens up his door and Paul he's riding his bike and he slams into his door, and then Henry, knocks him out.
Phil Hendry's a supreme talent, super guy. I have a huge crush on Leslie Mann, who was Paul Rudd's wife in This Is 40.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Mann is fucking super hot.
Judd
Apatow's wife, I think.
I remember her from. I never saw what I remember her from, I never saw.
Big Daddy.
But I remember it because
I remember her.
Because I went every day when they released the Star Wars movies in '97. Star Wars Empire Jedi. Yeah. Every one of the trailers before those movies was like Tarzan. Was it Tarzan or what's the John Biel? Who was the guy? There was some movie and she was in it.
Greystoke?
No.
It was filmed in the Bay Area too.
More recent.
Where the guy was like swinging from the Bay Bridge. And I remember when they were filming the movie, driving under the Bay Bridge and seeing like something hanging, and it was used. That was from the filming of that movie.
We'll have to look into
Leslie Mann's super cute.
Anyway, she was in that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the other one?
Whatever that was.
Funny People. Was that her?
She's in
the Adam Sandler movie, Funny People.
She's also in I think
Seth
she's in
Rogen.
Knocked Up too.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
Knocked Up. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that Judd Apatow does, I think she's in because she's his wife.
It was George of the Jungle. That's what it was.
Oh, there you go. Brendan
George
Fraser.
of the Jungle was filmed out
Fraser?
here. Yes, that was filmed out here, and that was the trailer in front of every Star Wars movie. So I remember seeing her on that, and then when she was in This Is 40 with him and Henry, I remember that. Yeah.
Again,
she's adorable.
Wet Hot American Summer. I've said that for like the last 5 weeks, but nobody knows what I'm talking about. So
nope.
It's a great.
Keep selling that story though.
Well, you're talking about Paul Rudd. That's another one he's in. One day you'll
Crystalite. That's right, man. That's right, dude.
I have to announce that my deodorant has officially given out. That's not
right.
good. That's bad.
It's not smell-o-vision.
That smell is now overtaking the smell of the burnt barbecue here in Phoenix.
Well, I noticed the dogs left.
Well, no, you know what the dogs did? The dogs were whining. I took them outside, threw the ball a couple of times. They're fucking crashed out now.
Oh, good.
And they got treats.
Oh,
they have
you.
Well trained.
Oh my gosh. Uh-huh. Wow.
Scuba Steve.
Huh? Oh, okay. That's where Jay is. Okay.
Where's Jay?
He's filling his cup. Hugh. Oh my gosh.
Is it like a medical sample or something?
I don't know. I think I'm going to do the same. And then, where are all the vampires? What?
What? Huh? What?
Where are all the vampires?
Dig those moves, vampire.
Good one.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, actually, Tuesday, you guys join us on Tuesday with the Talking Guitars and 80s Metal with Mancuda.
That's what. Yeah.
He's going to talk about the Dave Lee Roth stuff. Definitely. He told me last night after we did our little bit last night. He's like, Johnny, Tuesday, we're going to talk about Roth.
We talked about it on the air the other day, and it was basically, you show me what 65-year-old singer still sounds like he did back in the day, and before anybody says fucking Sammy Hagar, they're playing the songs 2 steps down, and he doesn't sound like he did 30
And
years
also,
ago.
go listen to Roth back in the 80s as well,
Yeah.
and a lot of those live recordings, he's doing the same shtick. If it's forgetting the words or whatever it may be, singing off key or any of it, that's what Dave was. He was a front man.
Yeah, no,
above all else.
He was never a great singer. And I mean, on the records, he sounds great. He's got his own thing, but man, he's 65.
Yeah, he doesn't owe us anything. Well, unless you're paying $500 a ticket or something. I don't know. Who knows how much they're charging at those shows?
I don't know.
But I mean, if you're going to Vegas, you're gonna that's kind of talent you're gonna see in Vegas. It's people doing kind of a last hurrah for a lot of people. That's where rock stars go to die in some cases.
That used to be
say
the
it,
case.
but
That used to be the case, but it's not anymore. Now Vegas has become.
It is becoming
all
more
casinos is great money. It's easy money.
But didn't the Raiders move to Phoenix now? I mean, not Phoenix, Las Vegas.
That's where all the money is.
Yeah.
Go where the money is.
Yeah, they're going to be over there now.
Yeah, great. They're just going to embarrass Vegas now. And for the record, I have a Raiders shield tattooed on my leg. I've been a fan since 1978. It's the worst fucking thing to be a Raiders fan. Just punch me in the dick.
I mean, I'm not the biggest. Well, I'm not at all a sports. I don't follow sports at all. But living where I do, a lot of friends are huge, Raiders fans, and I'm always
now because the Niners are good again. The bandwagon is full.
How many different cities have the Raiders been in?
3.
Just 3? Okay. Because I know it was L.A. Was it
They were in
Oakland?
San Francisco originally. They started in Kezar Stadium in San Francisco, but they were the Oakland Raiders playing in San Francisco. Then they went to Oakland. Then he went down to L.A., back to Oakland, and now Vegas. They almost went to Sacramento, too.
Where are they going to go after Vegas?
Mark Davis needs to sell the team. It doesn't matter where they go. They've got such a good brand. The problem is, wherever they end up, they're damaging the shit out of that brand because they're not good. But if they win one in Vegas, all of a sudden,
well, I'm sure their hopes are high.
And the NFL wants that. I mean, look what happened to the Knights in hockey. I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights.
Was it their first year? Yeah, was that their first year?
Yeah, they went to the Stanley Cup fucking finals. I mean, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey's such a great sport, and you can't enjoy it here in the Southwest. We've got the Coyotes, but who cares? Nobody cares.
Well,
you would think everybody in Phoenix would be going to the hockey games to get the relief.
It's cool. Yeah.
Of being in there.
The last time they cared about hockey was when Roenick and Kachuk were on the Coyotes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's only
kind of been in the last 20 years that any of those Southern teams have come around. Like Phoenix is only 20, 25 years old, or
the problem
and
with
Florida and Texas and those hockey teams from the South.
We all know it's a cultural sport. It's a cultural sport that you have to sort of be born into as a kid and get up and shovel off the pond and wait for school to be canceled. And it's really a regional thing. It's a part of a culture that doesn't exist in places where they don't have the formula for ice. So it's a tough place
people
to sell.
Are still making backyard rinks around here. I mean,
they sell it. They sell it well in the Bay Area, though. That the San Jose Sharks have been a very, very profitable and well supported hockey team for a long time. But that's really one of the only warm weather cities there. It does well. I mean, Carolina,
LA is Kings are huge.
That's just
front runners.
San Jose, that's just up the street from me, man.
Yeah, San Jose,
there.
They people go to those games, they turn out to it. And a lot of it is because of transients. I mean, that's what happens here in Phoenix is when the Red Wings come to town or the Blackhawks or the Bruins come to town, you go into the stadium and it's all Bruins jerseys and Blackhawks jerseys, and because it's such a transient town. There's no real ingrained fandom here. So it's a front runner city, like LA.
Trying to look.
Jay, don't you have an unboxing tonight?
I do. I'm trying to remember who the goalie was from San Jose back in the mid '90s when they were good. Who the hell was it?
It was a Russian. Nikolai Khabibulin. No, that was here.
No, Javi Bullen was
It was Phoenix. No, in Vancouver too, I think.
who the hell was it? I'm seeing Wade Flaherty, but he must there was no way. Arturs Urbe.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Urbe. Didn't he have like the all white pads with the white, jersey?
Wasn't he the guy from Urbe Villages? Who was that? The little guy?
How about this? You know who the San Jose Sharks' first goalie was? Ed Belfour.
That's right. Wow.
Oh, that's insane.
I do have an unboxing.
Yeah.
Well, there's only 45 minutes left in the show, so.
Speaking of that bass, John.
Bass.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to check
you go.
that thing out, man. Hell yeah. Give us
It's
the
a white-
rundown.
A white Spectre Euro 5.
Nice. Is that yours or are you borrowing it?
It's my bass player's. He bought it and had it shipped to me so I can track some stuff with it, which is very nice of him. Oh,
It's probably me.
oh, it's you. Okay. But it already sounds good. I have the back popped off because this has something called the
Oh,
tone
so it is
pump.
active. It is active then, right?
Yeah, it's active. There's something called the tone pump, and you can adjust the preamp. Where the hell is it in there? It's hard to see. It's back here.
Yeah, I think I see it.
Let's see. I got to do it this way. Yeah, there we go.
Right.
And you can adjust it. There it is. Tone pump. So I was sending some.
Looks like it's neck through, or is it set neck? Looks like it's neck through.
It's neck. Yeah, this is
That's good
all
voice.
maple.
Cool,
All
man.
maple.
So my BC Rich, all maple neck through. Way to be.
It's got EMGs in it, but I contacted EMG, and they sent me 2 pickups. So what the hell am I telling you for? I gotta build this up.
Show the right side.
I crossed out both. Yeah, I was telling the guys before we went live. I went downstairs because I couldn't find a black Sharpie up here, and I crossed off my address and everything. And then as I was walking up the stairs with my drink in hand and this in the other hand, this side was facing me, and all the information was on this side as well. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" So. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, so it's an unboxing now. Okay.
It's an unenveloping.
Look at that.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
That's a nice sticker. What else? Let me hide that because it's got all my information. What else is in here? Okay. So we have.
Nice.
Nice
Now,
box.
why did they send you those?
Say again?
Why did they send those to you?
Because we're swapping out the pickups that are in.
So now, what pickups are in it at this point?
Oh, shit.
Because I did the same thing with mine.
John B. What pickups are in the Euro Spectre 5?
Well, what I mean, because is it a P? Is it a P style or a?
This is a P and a J.
Right, in 5-string, because that was the problem that I had trying to find pickups for this one, because it's a P and a J, and then you have to have the 5-string kind though.
Yeah,
so
these are soap bars. They're soap bar pickups. So
It's funny because I have a Fender Aerodyne Jazz bass that has both P and J pickups in it, yet it's a jazz bass.
Yeah,
and you hard rock and metal guys out there, if you want to get that really chainy, driven tone, these are the pickups, man. And I didn't realize this until recently, that all those great records, like I mentioned, with Queensryche, Meshuggah, and Anthrax, like those type of bass tones. It's with these type of pickups. It's not the humbucking. I mean, you can split a lot of the pickups, which these can. You can split these, but if you're trying to record that type of bass tone, do not have your pickups in humbucker mode. And I didn't realize that until recently. So I'm gonna pop one of these open because the cool thing is with this bass, you don't have to do any soldering or anything like that. So I'm kind of curious as to how this looks when you bust these things open, because basically all you do is
plug-ins to a motherboard.
Exactly. So I kind of want to show that on here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was talking to another engineer, and I was like, dude, why don't guitar pickup companies like do this? And he's like, I've been friggin' going nuts for years about it.
I know. You'd think after, so many years of guitar development, they'd figure they'd be able to do that so much easier.
Yeah. So here you go. Here's we're doing a real unboxing here, boys.
Go.
Multiple boxes.
Multiple unboxing. I want to do this gently here. I don't want to start ripping stuff open because, like I said, these aren't mine. You know what I mean? So
you're unboxing somebody else's shit.
I'm unboxing somebody else's shit, but they gave me carte blanche.
Carte blanche.
Look at this. Look at that.
Oh man, look at that.
That's cool.
Look how smooth that looks.
Yeah.
Ooh, touch it. Ooh, is that soft?
No, my inner Mancuda is coming out of me.
I wonder what that looks like, an inner Mancuda.
So if you were taking out, if you ordered pickups, right, like DiMarzio, bare knuckle, whatever, you'd pull it out and there'd be wires and springs and a whole bunch of other jazz coming out of this thing. Look at this.
Wow, that is cool.
Yep.
And so the bass has you can plug it right into that bass with those connectors.
Exactly. So,
wow.
I mean, I haven't done it yet, obviously, but Monday I'm going to take the strings off.
Come on, why? That's amazing. Why doesn't anyone else do that?
I know.
You can get that little 3-plug adapter for any electronics. Like, I mean, that's an old Radio Shack kind of part that you could put it onto any.
Realistic.
Yeah.
That fell off, the little plastic cover for it.
Uh-oh.
But let's see. Hold on. It comes with.
That's a fat pickup. I mean, it looks.
Oh, wow. They actually sent, just in case.
In case you need to wire it.
Wiring harness.
Yeah. A whole wiring harness and input jack.
Go EMG.
Oh,
wow, look at
Well,
that.
now, here's the question: does that bass have that motherboard in it that you can just plug it in, or do you have to wire it up?
It has it. Yes, that's one thing I made sure of before. Because I'm not doing any of that shit. So when I ordered, I asked them. I told them the bass I had. I said, can I just basically pop those pickups out, plug this in, and they said yes. They do make these style pickups, like the 18-volt version, I guess, that has more headroom. And that for those pickups, you have to change out the entire wiring harness and all that stuff.
Did you say that's a humbucker?
It is, but you can split them. I'll show you. So you see, these are the volume, obviously for. Everything's backwards on here. God damn. Back pickup, obviously, this is the volume for it. Front. So then it's bass and treble. As far as the preamp goes, so you can boost and cut and all that stuff.
For both pickups?
For both pickups. So as you can see, these are both up. Single coil mode is out. Humbucker mode is down. Obviously, you saw that I had them out because we're single coiling the shit out of these things.
Yeah.
So
that's more, the single coil would be like the P bass sound, and then the J bass, the jazz bass sound.
The P and the J. I mean, I'm not a bass player, but
because the P bass is a split, staggered split.
You know more about bass than I do.
The J is a single. Well, that's what I.
The J bass is a little more trebly, and the P bass is going to be a little more round, a little fatter.
I don't like the J bass so much. There's the J and the P.
The J bass.
There you go. See,
but you got to make sure you get the right fives. Like in mine, just to find there was only a few companies that made the 5-string version of those.
Yo, and which one do I put where? This is
I know.
P.
Does it say neck in
This is the P.
bridge?
No.
The P should be in the neck.
The P should be in the neck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah.
P goes in the neck and the J goes in the bridge.
We're singing
Yeah.
Coy.
Hey,
Single
stop
chorus.
it! Hey.
So it's got all the here's the diagrams and all the stuff that I have no idea what it is. But-
Johnny, highlight that.
Hey, you know, you gotta give it to EMG, you know, for the packaging and the presentation if you're Canadian. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, there he
Ned.
is.
Ned.
What do they call that kind of cat? Is that like a money
What do you
cat or
think?
cat? Do they call that a money cat?
What do you? Oh, because of the M.
No,
Toonces is the dancing cat.
the coat, like the style, the pattern on his fur. Isn't that a money cat? Because he's kind of like gray and black and green.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
can you hear the purring?
He likes that, huh?
All right, dude, all right. Mine is
Oh,
starting.
Ned. I
They're
think he's
starting to
getting. I think
get
he's
antsy.
getting
gotta take 'em
tired.
out.
What a good boy.
He's so cool, man.
He's
Amazing.
so chill. I mean,
Yeah,
you
he's
just hold him like that, and he's just hanging out there.
He's so awesome.
Well, let's bring it back a little bit, boys. Somebody mentioned in the chat room earlier
To the
when
base.
we were talking about Rush.
I gotta use the room now.
Rush to the bathroom, quick.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to tap out shortly. My dogs are now getting to the point where they're annoying me.
All right, well, Paul, I'll ask you first. Then. I'll ask you first. And we kind of mentioned this last night or asked this question last night, but what would be your? I know this is a very hard question, but what would be your desert island Rush record if you had to pick one Rush album, and that would be it? What would it be?
Can I pick a live album?
No. I went nuts last night when somebody mentioned that. You don't want me to do it again.
Man, you know, I know everybody likes to say 2112, but I'm a big fan of Permanent Waves.
Mhm.
I also like Signals a lot. Possibly Fly By Night. So that's an interesting question.
It's hard, man. It's one of the hardest bands, I think, because they have so many, you know.
I like Signals because Signals is a transitional record between the hard rock sort of metal prog that they were doing in the 70s and 80s and getting into the synthier sound. And I like stuff like Countdown and
Losing It.
Analog Kid, Losing It, Digital Man. I think Digital Man's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
So I might say Signals. I think New World Man is a fantastic pop song.
Yeah, that's a great record, man.
Everybody likes to say 2112 because it's the
Because
the
of
big Opus
2112.
record. Because it's 2112, and obviously Moving Pictures is their big breakthrough record. That's why I said if I could pick a live album, it would be Exit Stage Left. Because
AI Gaming said Exit Stage Left, but we're
Exit
not
Stage
allowed
Left
to
is
pick,
fantastic.
you cannot pick compilations and you cannot pick live albums. Except I guess if you're a Frampton fan, then you can pick Frampton Comes Alive because
his only album.
yeah.
I did want to show my Moving Pictures CD how worn out this thing is with literally like holes in it. It still plays. It actually still plays. But
How do you wear out a CD?
Yeah, how do you wear out a
my
CD?
God.
They all wear out.
No.
over 30 years or 35 years, this thing is.
You
they
could
wear
leave
out.
that. You could leave that thing on repeat for
From
30
playing
years,
that?
and it would still be fine.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's from wear and tear. I mean, not just playing it, from moving and from. All
Wait.
that stuff.
This is a key question for that CD. Is it a store-bought CD or is it a BMG / Columbia House
It's
CD?
Mercury. No, it's a real deal. It's
Well, no, that has nothing to do with it. The
But is it-
manufacturing, because
Polygram
I've
Records.
noticed
Manufactured.
it's Polygram
I've noticed
Records.
that BMG and Columbia House manufactured CDs. The quality
I know
is
what you're saying. Yeah.
John, did you pay a penny for that CD?
No, I think I don't know where I got this, man. It could be I might have bought it used.
Well, there you go. It came like that.
Well, it should be on there. It should be on there somewhere.
No, it's
on
no.
the,
It's
I'll say where it
polygram.
was manufactured.
it might say manufactured for BMG or Columbia House somewhere on the outer ring. It'll
Hold
say
on.
it if it was a.
Or there'll be a stamp on the
I can't
back of the
freaking see
CD case.
I don't know what's it say.
Well, yeah, we can see that. What does it say? I'm gonna throw up.
Ah.
Made in USA.
Okay, nothing to do with it.
Wrong way.
All right.
Let's read backwards.
Do you have the case for that?
Somewhere.
Yeah, just look at the back of the case. It'll
On
say.
the case.
What are we
it'll say.
looking for?
Manufactured
BMG stamp.
for BMG or manufactured for Columbia House.
No, it says public performance and broadcasting prohibited.
Okay, so it's a promo.
No.
No. All CDs.
Unauthorized. Wait.
No, not
manufacturing unauthorized. Manufacturing unauthorized copying prohibited.
You need to go get some
That's all
glasses.
that I got. And it says Mercury and then Polygram. So I don't think this is a club.
Do you have glasses?
Yeah, in the other, I need the glasses.
Wait,
All right, let me take a picture.
John,
Man, I thought you looked really good in those glasses.
do you have manufactured?
Wait a minute.
Hold on, let me take a picture.
Oh my gosh.
That's what those glasses look like.
Look at that.
Oh my God,
All right, I got to take these guys out. I'll talk to you guys later.
Paul, have a good
You're
night,
out,
man.
Paul. Have a good night,
Have
man.
fun.
Have a good week.
Great to
Thanks,
see you,
man.
Paul.
Good seeing you guys.
All right,
Have a good
here we
night,
go.
man.
You want to see it? All rights reserved. Unauthorized.
All CDs say that.
Yeah.
Well, that's all that it says. You want me to
All
look for
CDs
something?
say
You
that.
want me to look for something that says a record club? There's nothing that says a record club. So that's what I'm
okay.
saying.
Well, if
No,
on the barcode on the back, the UPC code or something, usually on those ones, I thought it said on the CD as well, manufactured for whatever. But
I probably have one of those. Let me
Is it
see. I have
if
my
you look at the
CD book
jewel
here.
case, you'll see like a cutout.
no,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
for the BMG or Columbia House, they didn't have a cutout for those.
Well, eventually.
What? I thought it said near the barcode about the BMG Columbia House, and on the outer ring of the CDs they would say it. Does anybody in the chat have any?
Let's ask the chat because we
There's Columbia, but not Columbia House. I don't know.
we had
Oh.
such an action packed show last night. we really couldn't pay attention to you guys in the chat room. So I know we're almost 2 hours into this one. But yeah, chat room. Like, hey, who's in here? Michael Smith, Dog Paw, Metal Soda, Sean Zimmerman, Zach Thong, AI Gaming, Sandra Pokerney, Nightbot.
And
If you guys want to talk to us, and the rest, yeah, we'll read and answer your questions.
I guess I don't have any record club stuff.
Or does anybody want to join us for a few?
A few what?
FU tone? For a few drinks? A few sippy poos? Johnny, you're hiding it well tonight, man.
Who wants to jump in? There's 3 of us. Paul left.
Yeah.
Paul's gone. We have 3 slots. So if anybody wants to jump in,
3 slits?
come on. It's a Schlitz.
Schlitz, the most carefully
Right.
pronounced beer in America.
All right. Okay, if you want to jump in, and I mean, we kind of have to know your name. Like, we have to recognize your name, I guess.
There we go.
Because We're not
Johnny's
gonna let
putting it out there.
anybody in here. Well, actually, I could, but if we know your name, if you're in the chat room, if you want in, we have three
Shh. Lots.
3 slots.
3 slits available.
And we got well, I mean, if we're going by the schedule, we got
Let's not
40
forget this
40 minutes.
album too. their first live album.
But nobody can like that. Nobody can say that's their favorite one because it's a live record.
Right. I guess not. Well, that's all I got from Rush. Pretty much live stuff.
So yeah, if you want to jump in and
earlier.
promote whatever you want to promote,
Didn't show that earlier.
how should we do that? Message
Johnny.
Well, how do we do that? Because I don't have everybody on Facebook. Twitter, DM me on Twitter at johnnybeane. Actually, you can DM any of us anywhere, and we'll all get the message.
Don't DM me because I won't look at it.
Okay, don't DM him.
This is what.
So if you want to jump in,
Did you say
you know.
message or did you say? Oh, you can't see it.
sausage. What?
Sausage.
What is
Anyone out there sausage fan?
What?
Said sausage.
Wait! You're a sausage fan?
I'm a sausage fan, definitely. Les Claypool. What is
Hey,
that?
where's he at? He's still mad about being kicked out of that group on Facebook.
Yeah, when he called me the second time about it, I started giggling. I was like, "Hey, called me twice about." Dave's funny. He cracks me up, man. Cracks me up.
Well, he gets overdone on certain things, and it's like, who cares? You know,
Yeah.
getting jumped out of a jumped out of. Yeah, man. Dude. Yeah. See, it's happening now. Yeah, man. You can jump in.
Who dat?
Let me see. How do I do this? All right, we got 2 more slots. Did I stutter?
Hold on a
Slot.
second. Wait, we can't have like 3. Well, I guess we can. It'll actually make for good entertainment to have like. I got to put a hat on because I look like I'm friggin' dead here.
Shay, you're fine. Stop it.
No, look.
Just leave it alone.
Wait, ready? Is this the Jay Hannon everybody knows?
There you go.
Jay, you guys,
here.
Jay's here.
Join the show, everybody. How you doing?
All of a sudden, you look like you're awake. Wow, there you go.
Hey, Jeannie, you want to jump in?
Jeannie.
Do
I
you have
gotta
any
tell you guys
friends
something
over
funny.
tonight?
I got to tell you guys something funny, man. I went down before we started the show to fill up my drink,
Oh, okay.
you know, my first drink. So
Wait a minute.
Didn't know where you
Come
were
on.
going with that.
Come on.
I told you that to tell you this. Jeannie, for Christmas, she got from the Van Halen store, the oversized, Johnny. He's watching right now, so watch yourself. I know she's pregnant, but she got the oversized like 1984 tour T-shirt.
Mhm.
Anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh, she said it was from Urban Outfitters. All right, sorry. I apologize. Trying to give a little bit of credit here to our buddy. But anyway, so I thought she was in bed, at least sleeping or close to sleeping. All right. So I open up the door to go into the kitchen from this room, it goes downstairs. I turn the corner and I just see somebody standing there. And I almost had a fucking heart attack. I checked my heart rate. It went up like 20 BPM or whatever.
DBs.
Yeah, 20. I said that too.
20 dBs.
She almost gave me a friggin' heart attack. She was just standing. I was like, "What are you doing?" So
Oh, John, your thing's falling off, man.
that's the new Van Halen logo. What are you
Oh,
talking
shit.
about?
It just out.
Van Halen 3. That's what they should use.
It's like almost like the Nerd Halen logo now.
Oh, you got to make an avatar, man. That's
Yeah, come on, man.
what is that?
What are you doing?
Yeah, like this. When you turn your camera off, you got to have like a little, you. Yeah, it's so weird because it's like, is that a little person or is that a mouth? You can't tell what that is. You know?
Hey, watch. Look
Close
around.
enough for rock and roll.
Ah.
Oh.
I guess I should do it too.
Oh,
So what?
crap.
It shows like a VU meter almost, like some kind of an audio meter. Look at that.
Oh.
Hello.
Wait, who's that?
Hello.
Who's the guy that doesn't have the time to make their own avatar?
No, sorry.
Ah.
What is this Paul Rudd shit? Do I look like Paul Rudd or something? That's the third
Somebody
time
thinks you do.
somebody's mentioned Paul Rudd, and I'm like, what are they talking about? My favorite Paul Rudd movie.
Somebody post a comparison on Discord.
My favorite Paul Rudd movie is Halloween 6.
Halloween 6, huh?
Uh-oh. Somebody's calling? Should I answer this?
Yeah.
Where's my plug? Oh. So loud. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Sorry, I couldn't get to it in time. Call back.
Call back if you really want to be on the show.
Yeah, we'll take some well, anybody can.
Who wants to be on the damn show?
Yeah, it's.
Let me
you
see.
know.
Let me
Oh,
get my thing here. There we go. Where's the thing with the number? There it is. It's right here.
The number.
yeah. What's the little banner at the bottom showing all the?
Oh yeah. What happened to that stuff? Which show was this?
Who's on tonight?
It's like this thing. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't change. You know. It's like the same. It's like
Well,
the
you-
What's
same.
this?
That's
Def Leppard. The Hysteria
hysteria.
or Love Bites.
Hysteria.
Yeah.
I can't play the whole thing, otherwise Johnny will get really blasted.
Well, that's those two chords, or those three chords, are so recognizable.
What is
Right-
that? An interesting
there.
chord.
Yep.
The
Right
B,
there.
what is it, like a C and a B? No, it's a D and a
D.
B.
Oh, I just did that.
Ooh, just, yeah, listen to this, Def Leppard, guys.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's here. Everybody, please welcome, all the way from where they live. We got the keyboard going. The one, the
I like
only
that. I like that.
I'm waiting.
Mike, aka I can't read the rest of your name, but
Copy
hey,
time.
man.
All that build up to have me on. What a letdown.
The
Oh.
cat did, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Up. Nice. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing?
How's everybody? Where's everybody going?
Where's everybody going?
We're down to 5 watchers. I'm out of here.
We went from 86 to 5.
That poor whoever called in, please call back. Save us.
How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Trying to wrap up all my work so I can get to California without having all the shit on my plate as far as work goes.
So when are you leaving?
Flying out Wednesday morning. I get to to John Wayne Airport at I think 11 a.m.
John,
And then I go get
that airport's so tiny.
Johnny Beane Airport.
Remember, you dropped me off.
say again.
You dropped me off at John Wayne Airport.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago.
that's where
That place is so tiny. That's one of those airports where when you get on the plane, you actually walk out onto the plane.
And that's one of the reasons why I like going there, because I don't want to go to LAX. That place is a goddamn madhouse.
Yeah.
It's a madhouse.
I got a friend of mine texted me, like a friend of mine, Jay Turner. Jay, if you're watching this, I think that's his name. He was saying that he's like, Johnny, how do you get from LAX to Anaheim? You know, what's the best way? And I haven't been able to respond back to him yet, but
How rude.
I get so many messages
Yeah, no,
all day long, you know.
How rude.
that I did my research. God, that sounds good. That through the Yamaha?
The flutter. I like the flutter.
Hell yeah, man.
Those little amps, man, they kick so much ass. I love that guitar. Ah,
And the monkey grip comes in so handy.
yeah.
My first. Oh, speaking of the monkey grip, how about that flower petal grip that he has? Sorry, grips that he has going on his new stupid, whatever the hell he's got going on now. What is he
Pia?
thinking?
The new Pia.
Are we gonna see that at NAMM, Mike?
You're gonna, yeah, you guys are gonna see
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'll definitely make a video with that guitar.
Yep, 100%.
Mike and I will be on the case, on the scene, making all kinds of videos and everything for you guys.
So what's the schedule coming up for that?
You got to have a video where each of you are holding one of the grips with like two fingers, because I don't think you can do this with it. It's kind of like
I know.
too
It's
small
how
a grip.
Yeah,
practical is that?
Yeah, and then the next thing you know, in slow motion, you see it falling like this out of our fingers, and then you see us being taken away like this out of NAMM.
You know, I don't want to get into this too much because whatever, but you know, he should have put out a guitar that if you're going to do something different, do something different. Don't cancel the Japanese gem and put out something that's kind of like a gem, you know, alternate or something like that. Do something different if you're going to do something different.
Right.
That kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Mhm.
You know,
Look at the FU tone guitar. That thing is crazy cool.
That thing is badass.
which one? The travel one?
Yeah, the travel one that he was showing last night.
Yep.
The that thing is. I mean, you're talking about a different design. I mean, that thing is.
I'm gonna
cool.
get one of those. I'm probably gonna get the Ibanez one.
And it reminded me of the Flame a little bit.
Do you remember when we were at NAMM 2 years ago?
Yes, and that was a booth that we met Larry Mitchell.
Larry Mitch, we were leaving.
What was that?
That,
Yeah.
that was the last day we were
That
there.
was Sunday.
We run into Larry Mitchell. It was at the Traveler booth
Yes, it was. Yep.
with those guitars.
Yeah. That was cool, man. Yep. Yeah, he was hanging out there, and they were wrapping up stuff though. At that on Sunday, it's a ghost town compared to like Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday is the craziest day.
Yeah, that's why I fly in on Wednesday, because I want to get my pass. You know, I don't want to wait in line on Thursday.
It's a ghost town, eh?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, sort of, not really, but
No, compared to the other days, there's still a lot of people there. There's a lot going on, but
yeah.
you know, like on a Friday and a Saturday, it's completely insanity, man. There's so many people.
Yeah,
So many
definitely.
people. But yeah, we're gonna
Yeah, what's the schedule coming up this week? How's that look? I mean, you're going. It opens on what, Wednesday?
Thursday.
Well, it technically it opens Wednesday. That's to
get your badges.
well, I mean, that's like they have like a lot of the company, you know, they have parties on Wednesday.
Right.
Mancuda will be there Wednesday. He was telling me he will be there.
Waiting outside. Hey, let me in.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
He'll be in there. He'll be in there.
Caleb will probably make it in there too.
So
Well, I know,
Is he going this year?
is Caleb going, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think,
I know
well,
Adam said yesterday he was flying out to Nam today, I think, right, to start setting everything up.
Well, that's Adam. He's.
Well, I'm just saying, though, he was going out there to start setting stuff up, and then I forgot about that on Wednesday. That's when all the parties and stuff.
well, he had a booth last year.
Yeah.
I visited his. Well, we all did.
Did I say
Myself
great
and-
show last night, Johnny? That was great.
Yeah, that was an amazing show. That was awesome.
That was.
Check that out after this one.
That was cool.
Adam
Yeah,
Reaver.
we definitely got to get Adam
Cameron
back
Brown.
on here, sooner than later.
Yeah, he's got some awesome. Obviously, in the industry for so long, he's got some awesome stories, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I talked to Cameron today about it. I talked to Cameron. I said, dude, I want to apologize because like I know you were hurting and it was late as shit over there. But he was like, dude, I was tired, but I loved hearing, Adam's stories about, everything and seeing his guitars. He was like, I was hurting, but I was into it. So
Yeah. And even when they started talking, which I think is a big deal, about music and how NAMM helps with the education of music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was saying, I'm hoping not boring anybody to death. Everybody in the chat room, including myself, I'm like, you ain't boring nobody, man.
no.
I mean, that's the future,
That's true.
That's
Yep.
important.
That's a huge part of NAMM. Is the,
I never knew that.
I didn't know that
is
either. Yeah.
the education part of it. Yeah, because when you're there, you see all that stuff. They have all those different like lectures, and there's, I mean, it's not just walking around looking at rock stars and guitars. There's
Look at the
all
history of NAMM too.
Well, I didn't know.
all
We did
different
that
stuff
last year.
over
I
there.
had no idea I mean, I knew about, that they were into that, Johnny, but I had no idea until, what did he say? $1.5 billion they were able to get, to out to the country for music education and stuff like that. That is awesome. I mean, I think it should be more because every time there's a damn budget cut, first thing that they get rid of is what? The music classes and arts, in the schools. But I mean, think about that. $1.5 billion going to something that's actually good. Because like you guys were saying last night in the show, if you take up an instrument as a child, you're more than likely going to excel in school. It's just, it helps you out in every way. It's not going to hurt you at all.
Well, I don't know if anybody else out there had the same experience, but I remember being in high school. And it's like, 95, 96, and I noticed then that like the music department wasn't, we were playing like these, I took guitar class. I failed it, but I took it, and we had these old ass acoustic guitars that we had to learn, that they were, teaching on and stuff like that. And I had heard about, the music cuts even back then. Meanwhile, the football team had, the Nike truck, a Nike semi pulls up, and all the football players go out to the parking lot of the school, and they're all, walking out with boxes of cleats, that the school's paying for, the budget's paying for. So they're paying for that stuff, but any type of music stuff is like,
Right.
No big deal. And then like a year or two after I, graduated high school, they they put artificial like field turf in the football field and redid it. And like, obviously millions and millions of dollars went towards that.
Well, I will say there's an opposite story in my area. There's a school just down the road that has an amazing music program, and all their money is going to over the last 20 years has gone to music. They have a brand new theater and everything, just because it's Timberlane out of Plastow, New Hampshire. Timberlane is the school, and they've played for the president. They've played and, all kinds of stuff. Just the best music program around from middle school into high school, and that's kind of what Timberlane's all about in the last 20 years or so. It's been they're well known for their music program. So it does work both ways. There are some, at least out here, there's one school I can point out that is big on the music.
That's great, man.
Putting their money into that.
Do you guys remember when Eddie was given the guitars and the amps to the schools?
Yeah. Yep.
Like he gave all those PVs, all those Wolfgangs. I recorded this video. When was this? On Facebook, it says about 6 years. I put this on Facebook on my Johnny Beane TV page. It says 6 years ago I uploaded this. I'll play the audio of this, and you can actually hear Eddie talking about some of this. This was when he gave a guitar and an amp to a school. I'll go ahead and play the audio. This is from the news. Make sure the volume's loud. Here, you can listen to this.
Music lesson today from a rock legend who came bearing gifts just in time for the holidays. The one and only Eddie Van Halen visited the Porsche Learning Center in Exposition Park. He donated some music equipment and stressed the importance of supporting music education in public schools.
Music classes or programs to be the first thing to get knocked off because of budget cuts, I think is just a big crock. I believe it to be, it should be not an elective, it should be mandatory.
By the way, for all you Van Halen fans out there, frontman David Lee Roth confirmed this week that the band is working on a new studio album.
Hey.
Wait a second. Was that how recent is that?
Hey, breaking news.
Yeah.
It was 2011.
Must have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty big at the time. That was when he gave.
Was that from
Were
the?
they PVs or were they EVHs at that time? Must have
Well,
been
this was before he gave all those Wolfgangs away. This is before that. He gave them like one PV, and he's playing it. You can see him playing the guitar. If you guys want to see this, it's on my page. Let me see. How can I do this?
It'll be up there in the when
Copy here.
Johnny, check the
Let me
link.
see.
Maybe.
Let me see. I can probably give you guys a link to this.
Maybe.
Let me see.
Wait.
Yeah,
okay.
there it is.
Hold
There
on,
it is.
Michael.
Here.
E.T. Michael.
E.T. phone.
Oh, I can't.
E.T. phone. Oh.
Okay, that's the link, right? No. It's in the chat. That's the link to what I was just watching right
There
there.
you go.
I feel like I'm in a Brady Bunch right now.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's one of the only Van Halen songs I know from beginning to end.
That's the first thing I played on this show.
Really?
Yep. When I got the USA Wolfgang signature, Johnny and Dave were like, "Come on, man, play something." And I was like, "Holy shit. Nah, I'll just play this." You know?
Yeah.
Cigarette hanging in my mouth, you know? Wait, what this?
And you got to take it out after a certain point.
You got to see up. There you go. Stick it right on.
Oh, man. Good memories, man. Johnny, you realize it's been like 2.5 years, dude?
No. Right? It's been at least a couple of years.
A lifetime.
I'm saying since I, came on. It wasn't in August of, was it 17?
I think it must have been 17. That's when I started going.
Yeah, August of
I know.
17.
Man, time flies, huh?
I know. Think about that.
Yeah. Nuts, man.
Wow.
I can't remember the first time that I came on, or even I remember the first time I was recognized in the chat. I was like, they said hi to me.
Hey, Michael Smith says, "Hello, everyone."
No, but you're right, man. That was always cool. It's like, you comment something and Johnny's like, "Hey, 7/8's here." And it's like he had no idea who I was at the time. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah. That means it really does mean something. That's one thing about Johnny's show from the beginning, at least. He he doesn't just talk to you. You know, the chat's the part of the show, man. I mean, for God's sakes.
Well, except for last night, we apologize for that, but it was so much going on.
Yeah, but there's certain times, and everybody believe me, everybody in the chat, I'm sure I can speak for them. They know when you have a show flowing like that, and you have, you know, certain guests on and stuff like that, it's time to just sit down and enjoy the show. You know.
If you got, well, we had 6 people in here too.
Yeah, and then
so,
you had like 140 people or something, and a chat's flying by.
I think you had I saw 27 was the highest I saw, but they're 127.
27 people?
127.
I mean,
it was more than that.
I think it was more than that at some point.
I saw 140 at one point.
I thought it was in the 140s, but also it was almost like all of them were chatting.
Yes,
the room was just flying.
The chat was moving fast,
and I was trying to look at stuff, and we definitely. I mean, I'm sure I can speak for Johnny too. We saw the chat, but
I got to use the room so you can speak for me.
I'll speak for you. Johnny said that I can just take over the whole channel and put my own stuff on. No, but we saw the chat. We were reading the question, but it was so hard to like get that stuff in when, like I said, Adam was just he was so awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to hear that. As fans of what we love, this, music, you want to hear that from somebody that's in the industry. And let's be real. He's in the industry and he's going to tell you. I mean, we're blessed that he comes on and tells us these stories.
Some of the stories he had, the people he was talking about. I mean, even just the Phil Collins story in the I texted Ed later that day. And it was like I don't remember what he was referring to, but I mean, he's got all those guys on his phone. I mean, he's in regular contact with them, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And then think of like Cameron, right? He said that Adam was the first person to endorse him. And then I found out later, like Cameron was like, I don't even know if Adam remembered. I'm like, dude, get the F out of here. Like, of course he knew who the hell you were on here.
How long has F.U. Tone been around?
I couldn't answer that.
I'm wondering.
I don't know exactly.
No idea.
Johnny will probably know, but
didn't he say maybe I'm wrong? Didn't he say that like he's been going to NAMM for like 28 years or something?
So he's been involved some.
So if he's been going there that long, then he's he may have had other businesses before this. Johnny, do you know how long F.U. Tone's been in? Been around? Because Adam said he's been in NAMM, I think, for like past 28 years. So he's been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah. For I know he was doing the D-Tuna. For years. I mean, since that thing's been out for how many years? 15 years? 16?
No, longer than that.
Longer than that. No, right?
That's like 20 years, right?
I mean, on the market.
Oh, on the market. Okay.
Oh.
On the market where you could buy. Because I remember the first one I ever bought was I got secondhand off eBay in like 2004. And I started installing those onto my guitars. And now I'm only down to 2. I only have 2 guitars that have those things.
Really?
I gotta get one of those brass blocks.
Caleb Rappaport is in the effing house. Right?
Caleb, how was the show, man?
Yeah, bring him in. We got room for 2 more.
We saw the bathroom.
Can you hop in?
Real quick, Metal Soda says, is Larry Mitchell's guitar a Maxis body? Is he talking about the Ibanez that Dave owns now? Because that's a Joe Satriani body, correct?
Did Nesdal bust that guitar last night?
He blasted it on his
Remember that?
Yeah.
It went right out of tune.
Yep.
What happened?
Was that when he stood up?
Yes.
Break a string?
No, he just
he did a little riff and then he did the
he held the whole thing up and then it like crashed down.
And then he goes, watch, it's still in tune.
Yeah, it was like he's like, listen, let's still in tune.
Exactly.
Sounds about right.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. Oh my God. I start drinking and I can't play. Wait. Oh my God.
What is that riff?
Temporary thing, man. Wait. How's it go?
Oh, Larry Mitchell.
Larry,
Yeah, there you go.
I was watching. Were you watching that video? Nesdal posted a video of some band playing a Larry Mitchell song. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't want to comment.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I was sitting here last night watching it. It looked like it was from like the 90s or something.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but the first thing I noticed is that, I'm gonna.
The guy was playing a Music Man.
Yes, I'm gonna regret saying this, but the guitar, whoever the guitar player was, he was playing ahead of the beat. He's better than I am, but he was playing ahead of the beat.
Yeah, I don't know who they are, but it was cool watching that video because it reminded me of band rehearsals at studios,
Mhm.
you know, and it was weird. It was almost like looking at me. The guy looked like me. I looked like that guy back then. I looked exactly like that guy playing that exact same guitar. You know, so it was really weird. It was really weird seeing that. You know, and it just made
in the mirror.
it just made you realize how you know every generation has, you know, a lot of the same looking people everywhere doing the same thing.
It's very
You know?
observant, Johnny.
You know,
Well, they always say like there's supposed to be like a double of you somewhere in the world.
Oh yeah,
Doppelganger.
I've heard that before.
But that doesn't make any sense. There's no. How would that? You know, there may be, but not everybody has a double. I mean,
Well, not double, but somebody looks like so
A doppelganger.
yeah, but the,
doppelganger.
Yeah.
There you go, exactly.
well, hey, we talk about aliens. You know, there's
there
other
we
worlds.
go.
Yeah, that's a
There's
good
a-
point, actually.
Shapeshifters.
There's other worlds out there, and they've got, you know, that's something that freaked me out years ago. You know, thinking, you know, there's some other planet somewhere that has their version of Brad Pitt. You know,
Well, like another. Well, they say
or
like
something.
dimensions.
You know what I mean? Like they have their own versions of like, you know, their favorite. You know,
You could have picked Halen.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
You could have picked Hendrix. You could have Brad Pitt.
well, the same. Well, you know what I mean, though.
I know what you're
Brad
saying.
Pitt out of your ass.
You know what I mean. And so
A
it's just
celebrity,
kinda-
like a top
it's
celebrity.
kind of
you know?
weird.
Okay, no, I get that. Yeah, all right.
You know.
Hey, you want to do a Mully rendition of something? I'm holding a gem guitar. Ready? Let's do this.
Oh my goodness.
Or would it be? No?
Gotta love Mully.
Or should I play the real one? Yeah, that's it. Who's playing that? John BL?
He's rocking out, man.
That's not right.
Nice.
It's B.
B, yeah, BC.
How about this? Let's do
I
this.
can't find it.
Where's B?
Man.
Find B.
John, B is after the A.
That's
I
B.
got to play more keyboard, man. I love playing the keyboard.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned stuff. Sounds like you have the hockey preset on your keyboard right there.
Yeah, exactly. It's Hammond. It's definitely got that. Yeah.
I got to play more keyboard, man. It looks like I probably will be after I get back from him. After that,
Johnny, I tagged you in that fold-out keyboard thing, didn't I?
Huh?
That rollout keyboard, it rolls out.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's some good
That
kind
looks-
of new synthesizer keyboards that are out there
cool.
that you can find.
Yeah, that's
Behringer's making a new series of actually like analog synths.
really.
Yeah, for like under $300. There you go.
There you go.
Looking good, buddy.
I love it.
That should be the picture on Van Halen's store, man. That should be the picture for
Those
those.
Reeboks, man.
Are you still blocked by the Hulk?
Yeah,
Oh,
Hulk Hogan still blocks me.
Now you know how Dave Nesdahl feels.
Dude, I get kicked out of groups all the time for no reason.
Do you really?
know? All the time, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been kicked out of a group. Yeah.
Hey, did anybody else want
I
to
just
join
get
the
kicked
show?
off of Facebook.
Anyone else want to join?
Yeah, somebody hop in, man. Caleb.
Yeah, where did he go? He's still here.
He's here. I see him. He's talking about the Kings. Man.
Love it.
Yeah, so this is the Behringer synth. It's like
Caleb's driving.
so you can just plug it into your
Wait,
kind of MIDI
Caleb.
compatible keyboard.
Caleb, Steve Anderson wants to know if you're going to In and Out.
I gotta get one of those.
They're opening up 3 or 4 In and Outs here in Colorado, Johnny.
Really?
Yeah, it's all over the news. It's like a big deal, man.
It's because of the legal pot. That's why. Everybody's, they're
Fly
all,
off the shelf.
they're all high and they're like, In and Out. I gotta have In and Out,
I've eaten In and Out with you.
Never had In and Out. Nothing around
That's
here.
a weird sentence.
Yeah, say that again, Michael. I've eaten In and Out with you.
I've eaten In and Out with you, and it was delicious.
Yeah, don't change those words around. That's what I'll have to remix that on the Adobe.
Now, is that the way Eddie played it?
Go ahead.
Let's have that little discussion right now. That third chord of Pound Cake, is it? Let's see. I got to play it together, but otherwise I won't be able to play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I always thought that too.
Sounds
right?
like it to me.
Okay.
That sounds like it.
It's yeah.
What
is that
what's
chord?
the other way you would play it though? What do you?
Don't ask me.
Oh, okay. Because that sounds right.
That's the only way I would know how to play. I would think to play it.
Is that on the tab?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I want to know what chord that.
Sure, it's on a tab.
Like, hey, like, give me a tab. Well, if you want a tab, you got to buy something.
$20.
Well, then give me a
Pepsi free.
Give me a Pepsi free. If you want a Pepsi free, you got to pay for it. If you want a Pepsi, you got to pay for it.
You know,
What did he say then? Just give me something with caffeine. What did he say?
Just give me
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it gives him a cup of coffee. Yeah.
something light or something, yeah, with no sugar.
What movie was that from, you guys? Chat.
Yeah, chat.
Mad Dog says, "What a sausage fest!" Wait, in the chat room or in here? Which is
No,
it?
I think Mad Dog means what he's also watching, or where he is.
Oh, he's giving us hints at what bar he's hanging out at. Didn't he say?
There's-
Was it Mad Dog that said that he's getting snowed in or something like that earlier?
I don't know.
Hey, didn't you ask him? I thought it was Mad Dog. He's like in a blizzard somewhere. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's right. Caleb wants to know where his wrench is, and I thought we explained this.
Oh, yeah. I deleted all the wrenches because people were like timing out and like banning people like for no reason.
Yeah. I called Johnny up yesterday and asked him for my wrench back, and he hit me in the head with it. So I was like, all right, I get it.
I just haven't.
Look at Mad Dog's comment.
Who's Mitchell?
Joe, your mom just popped.
I just had 2 double rums, so you know.
Nice.
Look at that. I got a Desert Sun Yellow.
Oh,
rum.
look at that! You're yellowed out, man.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody that had a wrench before, I just deleted everybody's. It wasn't personal to anybody, you know.
Yeah, you told me turn into chaos. People are banning each other, shutting each other up.
Although
knocking
look,
them out.
Nightbot has one though. Look. Yeah. You guys, if we really wanted to clean this place up, I could actually put Nightbot into total charge of this. And he'd be banning and just like timing out everybody for every other comment.
The chat room literally would just have one thing in it.
It'd be crazy.
Can we do it for like 2 minutes? Can we put Nightbot in charge? Like, you know, like in Terminator when he puts Skynet's in charge of everything. And all of a sudden they become self-aware and take over.
Did Skynet just go live? Did Skynet go live? What movie was that? That's another movie.
Actually, when
the harmonics on this guitar are insane.
I was gonna say, man.
Oh my
That's great.
god.
Unbelievable.
But when Nightbot was first here, when I first, introduced Nightbot into this, I hadn't pulled back the settings. So do you remember that first day Nightbot was here and Nightbot was like banning like people left and right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, I do. I was like, wait a minute, who just wait a minute, Nightbot just timed out. I kept spotting that stuff. It was pretty funny.
Night balls.
That was pretty. Do it again though.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, put the settings all the way.
Take everybody's wrench away, and then see who gets banned first.
There's only going to be the only two going to be left is Johnny and Nightbot. That's it.
Man,
that
whole live section that he does on that.
Yeah,
pinnacle.
That's the absolute one of the best.
Just think of that. He was sitting down trying to come up with something, and he made that. I mean,
the rhythm alone. I mean, the rhythm alone to that is so awesome. And then the next part.
There you go.
The part that he doesn't play live. The whole like. Sorry, I'm kind of
rummed out.
But the harmonics are insane.
It sounds amazing. Yeah, the harmonics sound great on that.
Okay. Nightbot is now in total control.
Oh, Skynet.
Test it out, folks. See what
is now aware.
See if you can get banned.
Go crazy in the chat and see what happens.
Nightbot is self-aware. Let's see if he. Well, I have a wrench, so I'm
banned. Emojis. Banned. Say bet. And yeah, anybody that gets banned.
There's one. Mad Dog was timed out.
I'll unban.
Zimmerman's timed out.
I'll unban any of you guys, so don't worry about it. I unblocked everybody that was ever blocked. So go ahead and go crazy. Go ahead and go crazy and see what Nightbot does. Nightbot has total control.
Good night, Sandra.
Was Sandra just?
Sandra's saying good night.
Blocked out?
No, she's saying good night.
Good night, Sandra. Thank you again for everything.
It's letting me run hog wild.
Jeannie wants to know if I know any Pearl Jam. I guess this would be the only thing offhand that I would know would be like, what would this be? Wait.
Did it let that go up, Johnny?
Huh?
Love that song.
I think I screwed it up, but something like that, right?
Pearl Jam's awesome.
That's Alice in Chains, isn't it? Sounds like Alice in Chains.
Well, there's two songs. It's Footsteps, and then there's a
There we go.
Temple of the Dog song.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Temple.
The same.
The only
You know,
great
going
version,
hungry.
Hunger Strike.
No, I used to, but I have no idea.
That's a great tune.
I don't
man.
want to embarrass myself on here too much.
The way those two sing that song, man.
Yeah.
Two awesome voices right there.
I mean, I
that CD
might be able to
somewhere.
pull off the old. Nope, didn't hit it.
There's one for you, Jay. One
Uh,
of those
One of the greatest. That's like a top 20 all-time album for me, right there.
yeah,
That's
that's
the
a
first
great album.
Candlebox record. Yep.
How about this one? Here's another good one.
Fuck yeah.
Which
There's a
one is
funny
that?
part.
Live.
What is it?
Live.
In I Am the Law. When Joey Belladonna hits the high note after the solo and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, I love
Anthrax.
Anthrax.
That might be the shortest band on the planet.
I don't know. AC/DC's kind of out there.
I think you guys saw the picture. I had a sign and greet and meet and whatever, and yeah, they're all out here, and I ain't tall.
Greet and meet.
Meet and greet.
Meet. Beat your meat.
Charlie Benetti wasn't there. He was sick. He didn't play the show.
Oh my god!
Really? Who played?
I don't remember. He was hurt for a while, and somebody filled in for him for like 5 or 6 shows during that tour.
Wow.
Yeah, that sucked. I was pissed, but whatever. I saw him a bunch of times. They were still killer.
Oh my gosh! Look
Funny
at
story about Charlie Benante. Benante? How do you say his last name? Benante?
Charlie Benante. At least that's how I've always pronounced it.
They played the Chance in what
Poughkeepsie.
year would it? Is Jeannie still watching? What year did they play the Chance? And our buddy Brendan Buttcheeks in the chat room, I don't know if he's still here, but he was at that show as well. And Charlie Benante threw his drumstick out into the crowd. It hit Brendan Buttcheeks' head.
No way.
And then went between Jeannie's tits. And she still has the drumstick.
Awesome.
Betwixt her.
Yep. So after the show was over, we went outside, and everybody but Scott Ian was out there mingling. You know, it was the John Bush era. So it was John Bush, Frank Bello. Well, obviously Danny Spitz wasn't there either because he wasn't in the band.
Danny wasn't there.
No.
Everybody wanted to get their hands on that.
That sounds about right. 2003. That sounds about right. So anyway, we start bullshitting with this other guy that's out there about Anthrax. And all of a sudden he's like, you know, by the way, I'm Scott Ian's brother, you know. And all of a sudden we're like, you know, why isn't he out here? He's like, oh, he's in the bus, you know, dealing with some business stuff that he can't, you know, he can't be out here right now, you know, with this. So we're like, you know, we got everybody's autograph on this drumstick besides Scott Ian, you know. So he's like, let me bring it in on the bus and, you know, let's see if I can get it signed. So he comes out a few minutes later and Scott signed the stick. So but that was pretty cool, you know, all for Brendan Buttcheeks' head onto my wife's boobies.
So who has the stick? Brendan or
no shit, Brendan. Yeah, right.
oh, where is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the stick out from Jeannie's boobs and hand it to my
Well, that's what I'm
There you
saying.
go.
How come we need to see that stick at some point?
Yeah, no way.
You just said you want to see a stick.
Yeah, I want to see Jay's stick.
I saw them when they played under the code name Satan's Lounge Band, Jay. Do you remember that? Nice.
Hey, Callie's calling me. Hold on a second.
Cali.
You're on the air. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm driving home on the freeway, and I'm fucking listening to the show, and I'm reading the chat.
Oh, sounds
And
dangerous.
I'm leaving. I just got fucking pulled over.
No
Oh.
way.
What?
And the guy gave me the little flashlight test for my eyes because I told him I had a beer. And then he said, keep it in the road. He let me go. Because I told him I just played a gig at the gas lamp in Long Beach. But he was like, "What? You're weaving, man." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't want to tell him I was fucking listening to the show."
Holy shit.
Oh man.
Oh, if we
Oh
could
my
have seen that, that would have
God.
been great to see that.
I'm trying to read the chat.
Oh my God. Thank God, man.
Man, you got lucky, man.
You got lucky.
Yeah, Caleb said, "Don't read the chat and drive 75 miles an hour. It's bad for
You get pulled over by the California Highway
Yeah, that.
Patrol and risk hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars and get out of it. Woo!
Good job, Caleb.
So how was the show, man?
Oh man.
It was fun. It was fun. There was like 600 people there, I guess.
Wow.
Definitely the by far the biggest show we played, and just that club gets a real good crowd. So it's not like we drew that, and we weren't the headliner. The headliner was Pyromania, which is like an 18-year-old Def Leppard cover band, and
Oh,
tribute.
they're young, huh? They're kids.
And but we were the 3 slot of a 4-band bill, which is perfect. 10 p.m. Everyone's there, and I thought we played well. There was some volume issues on stage with the tracks. When you play with tracks, the keyboard tracks for Cradle and Jump. Cradle was a little messed up. I couldn't hear stuff. When you can't hear the track, dude, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, when you can't hear the track that's driving the tempo of the song, it's like, oh no.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Dead. So there was a few issues with that, but overall, the reaction's great. I haven't really read the comments, but I knew just from 600 people that we'd get at least 100 maybe people that signed up, to the Instagram or
mailing
something.
list.
So I'm hoping that's happening. It looks pretty busy on there. So,
Awesome.
but just walking around afterwards, people were all over us. So that was really cool.
Well, don't tell your wife that.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, my wife's not going to see this, right?
I hope she understands. But
Well, how long till you're home?
it's fun. Oh God, probably like 12 minutes.
Well, if we're still on, why don't you,
I gotta do a little load up the stairs though. So
Oh.
what about a load when you get home?
Load in.
yeah,
You got to load out?
I gotta load up out of my truck. So, but I'll
Take a load off.
for sure.
Yeah, man. Well, that's great that it was a good show, and
Yeah, just make sure you put
You guys stay on. I mean, it's getting fucking
well,
late.
Michael wants to say something to you. Hold on.
just please make sure you put your phone down so you're home in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, be safe out there, Caleb.
Oh, I'm concentrating right now. That's for sure.
You're constipated right now?
Hold on. Constipated.
We'll be home in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Captain Smith, I'll see you in a few days, Captain Smith.
There's the captain. The nerd ale.
Yeah.
In Anaheim, California. It'll be there.
I can't wait to get out there, man. I missed last year and I'm going to make up for it. It's going to be fun.
He said he missed you last year. He's going to make up for it.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Sweet.
All right. Let us know when you're home.
Nuts.
Thanks for checking in, Caleb.
What a good dude.
he's
What a
awesome.
good dude.
He's one of the real good guys, man. He must have been scared shitless when those lights came on behind him. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Jeannie texted me the
If you're sober, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah, but still,
More or
they
less
can still
sober.
bust balls.
No,
and
but
whatever.
still,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Even if you just have one and you say,
Well,
yeah,
I know it's that feeling. Yeah,
you
like,
still you still worry, even though you're fine. But
no
then
matter what, whether you're sober or not, it doesn't.
right? But you don't have to be drunk. You could have slapped him for erratic driving, just going back and
Yeah.
forth. You know, control your vehicle. I mean, and I can't even imagine how much it would cost out in L.A. It's got to be like a $400 ticket, something crazy like that.
So Jeannie sent me a picture of the set list and date for the Chance Theater in Poughkeepsie, New York, August 23rd, 2003, from Anthrax. So it's probably going to be hard to see, but I'll try to 19 song set list. Hold on.
that's loud.
Sorry.
Let me try the. So there's that.
Yep, that's
August 23rd. So
your screen cracked, man.
yeah, well, not the
stuff,
screen. It's my screen
Oh yeah,
protector.
okay.
So it
Looks
took
like
5.
a lot of.
So the first Belladonna era song.
I was going to say, yeah.
I don't want to include "Got the Time" because it's a.
I was going to say, yeah, Caught in a
cover.
Mosh.
Caught in a Mosh.
Yeah.
Antisocial is another cover.
Yeah.
Madhouse. So 2 songs.
NFL. Even
NFL.
Yep.
Be All End All. Metal Thrashing Mad is the first record.
Yep.
So they played like what 3 or 4 old Anthrax songs in this set list, and I remember being like I don't know, man. Just I'm a Belladonna guy. I know a lot of people prefer Bush, but
George.
Yeah, George Bush.
No, the band.
Joey Belladonna, 100%, man. I kind of lost track of him after he left. To be honest with you,
my brother-in-law / drummer / Jeannie's brother, whatever. He prefers John Bush over Belladonna, and it's weird because he's an old school thrash guy, Metallica and all that stuff. But he always said, dude, I never got into Belladonna.
That's it. They're on their last song was Whiplash. Was that the Metallica cover? Or?
Yeah, I'm assuming it was. I don't remember it at all. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
nice.
That was an unintentional.
That sounded great.
Yeah.
You gotta get a harmonizer. What's that? Electro-harmonics? Or who makes the harmonizer?
Electro-harmonics, ain't it?
Right?
No. Eventide.
Eventide. Eventide.
Somebody saying "Cry for the Indians."
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh God.
Don't get me started on Anthrax, man. I'll be here all night playing this shit.
Let's do it.
I like Anthrax, definitely.
Name that tune, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Belladonna era. I probably can pick it out. Try a deep cut Belladonna. See if I can get it. Now I'm not going to get it, but still throw it out there. See if somebody in the chat can get it too.
This wouldn't be a deep cut, but let's see. Let's see if this is right.
It's not like Be All End All.
Wait it out. No, that's wrong too. Yeah.
Love that thing.
Yeah.
Medusa. Oh yeah.
Let's see. I can't speed pick right now, man. I'm starting to lose it.
Just play Medusa all night long. It's not fast.
Sean Zimmerman doesn't mind the landing strip, but he doesn't like Bush.
Among the living.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Hey, give me a song. I'll see if I know it. I can't think of any songs right now.
Be All End All. That was one that was on that set list that I haven't heard all. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Give into the second, the double time. Dan, does it? There you go.
Oh man, it's been so long. I can't do it right now. Johnny's like, what? Anthrax? What are you doing?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Nothing touches me. I'm a walking.
Oh,
damn it! Can't think of the name.
Danny, thank you so much, man.
Danny
Alexander.
That's it.
I forget the chords he uses on that. Oh my god, I can't remember how the chorus is awesome. I can't remember how it goes, man. Son of a gun. All right, something else. Come on.
Hey, hold on a second.
NFL.
Wild Thing.
There you go.
I'm the man. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. I don't know how that goes.
Yeah. That's probably the only Anthrax song that I ever learned.
How's it go? What are the chords? Or what are the I guess the order of the low E strings, basically.
Something like that. Not that I know how to play it nowadays.
Oh, come on,
I learned
man.
I don't know how to play it now.
Song I learned.
You can hum it.
Breathing
I can
lightning.
hum it, exactly. Yeah.
You can hum it.
Jay.
Dun, dun.
Breathing lightning.
Oh, I don't know any of the new shit, man.
That song is so good, man. Oh. You know the tune though, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a great tune, man.
Hell yeah. A lot of chromatic riffs in Anthrax. It's one thing I've noticed.
Madhouse.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, my God. My fingers don't work, man. Something like that, right?
That's it, though. That's it.
Johnny, are you like, I have no idea if any of these songs that you're playing.
Do you know any of them, Johnny, at all?
They all sound the same to me.
Well,
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of them, resemble kind of each other.
What was their
here's one, here's one.
first album? Was it what was their first album?
Fistful of Metal?
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
What
like
was some of their
That was it.
what were some of their earliest well-known songs?
Metal Thrashing Mad is one of the
Yeah.
songs.
That's fast. That's
Did they do Into the Pit? Was that one of theirs or
That's
something?
Testament.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How about Now It's Dark?
No, it's dark. I can't see.
It is.
Yep.
Don't you fucking look at me.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
That's the word. Man.
I never learned that one. Then there's a wait.
Oh, yeah.
That's all Scotty in rhythm, right? I mean, he write most of those songs?
No.
I mean,
Benanti,
he mostly played rhythm, right?
Benanti wrote the majority of those Anthrax songs.
Yeah.
back then. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. Is anybody else in the chat an Anthrax fan, or am I playing to deaf ears right now?
I'm not completely deaf, but I can hear a little bit. They're ringing.
This is fun, man. Like it's weird when you think about like the Metallica riffs and the Anthrax riffs, and they're not hard to play for the most part. Some of them are, like the Blackened riff, like the
Love that.
it's hard, man. It's fast.
A lot of that stuff off Justice was just technical as all hell.
It's tricky stuff. It's all down picking, so you got to really work on that stuff. But
How about the beginning of the Horror of It All, ADI? I love the way that it's an instrumental that leads into the
yeah, I never learned that either. Who was that? Was that Danny Spitz that wrote that?
Yes, Danny. What was in? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I Am the Law, Metal Soda says. I thought I played that, didn't I? I'll cut up the riff so I don't play everything straightforward, but then the chorus. Oh, that's backwards. Wait. I am the law. Yeah, something like that. Then, yeah. Wait.
Yeah. I'm hearing Joey Belladonna yell. Like
The ultimate.
Jay, did you?
I'm hearing Joey Belladonna.
Yeah.
All the way up.
Yep. Did you work on that Fifth Angel intro at all?
It's so easy, but it's so awesome.
How about intro to reality? You remember that? That's your favorite album.
I forget it, man.
That's off your favorite album. Ain't that your favorite album?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great album.
Jay,
Okay,
that
we
Fifth
lost
Angel
time.
intro from the Howard Stern intro.
It's not tune standard, so I couldn't learn it.
Oh,
that's my excuse.
yeah.
Put it on,
That's a
like,
great intro.
I hit a chord and I was like, okay, I think that's a half step down. I'm not going to learn that.
Yeah, they must have. Yeah.
I've been watching those. Like whatever, like channel uploads those.
Channel.
I think it's called Channel 9 or
Channel
something.
9, yeah.
Whatever channel.
WWOR.
Well, no, there's a YouTube channel that's been uploading all those old TV shows.
Oh, is that right? Cool.
Yeah. I've been I watched a whole episode last night.
Wow.
I was sitting here, and then
Was the first episode the one with that headbanger dude that tried to blow the smoke out of his eyeballs and he threw up? Right? Was that the first?
I don't know. I don't know.
Stern show on Channel 9.
That was before
right?
the E Show, I think. Wasn't that
Yeah.
before the E Show?
Yeah, he was on Channel 9.
It was years before the E Show was
90,
like
92, 91, 92. Like
no,
that
like
era.
90.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
90, 91 was that show, and then the E Show was 95.
when he got the
Right.
second chance to be on TV.
95, 96. I watched that every night, man. All that stuff.
Was the Channel 9 show, was that like with his radio show? Was that part of his, did he
No,
like do the radio show? That was completely separate from his radio.
it was separate, but it was all the same people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty
why
cool.
do you think? Doesn't it seem weird to you that like he's the greatest radio show ever, hands down, whether you like him or not? It's Howard Stern. But whenever they gave him the opportunity to go on TV, it just, for some reason, I enjoyed it, but for some reason it just didn't work. I mean, why do you think that is? You know, for somebody who's so great on radio to just not be, you know,
I think it worked. Don't you think it worked? To some, I mean,
for us it worked.
The E Show was on forever. I mean, it was like 15 years.
Well,
or something.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you know, with radio, you can't see what they're doing. You just hear about it. So you envision what they're doing. When you put it on TV, you know, some of that stuff, especially back in the
Doesn't
day,
translate.
you couldn't show it. A lot of the stuff
Oh yeah.
couldn't be seen. Of course, nowadays you can, you know, anything. If you guys saw what's on Twitter now, you can show anything anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, almost. You know, so these days that stuff definitely works. But back in the day,
It was pushing.
you know,
it was
the-
definitely pushing
the-
the sensors and all that.
the Channel 9 show and the E Show were very edited and very censored.
So
what they
are you
can
saying
actually
that there's
show.
no way that, like, you know, the Channel 4s and the 2s and the 5s and the 7s, you know, the CBS and NBC and all that stuff, they had no chance to put him on to rival, you know, Leno and
at some
Letterman.
point they did have wasn't there a late night?
No. Because when Stern, when the Channel 9, my sister introduced me to that show back in the early 90s. And when Howard Stern was on the Channel 9 show, that was on super late at night.
Yeah.
I
Like,
thought they tried him
way-
in prime time at some point.
It was like 2 a.m. that show was on.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, exactly.
You know, when nothing else is on, it's either that or infomercials.
It was that and Hawaiian Tropic infomercials. Yeah.
Ooh.
I met
Remember
Howard Stern a couple of times, and Robin Quivers.
Really?
Robin, is she still with the show?
Yeah, she's still.
Yeah.
Wow, good for
Yeah,
her.
she is.
Yeah,
I
I
like
got
Robin.
Howard's autograph somewhere around here. I used to be an EMT, and I used to work overnights, and I knew that the store where Robin, she'd go in every morning and buy all the newspapers to do the news. This is back in the
Mhm.
early 80s.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
back
way
in the
back.
early 80s. So I'd go by. In fact, we didn't get on the air, but he mentioned us on the air. Me and my buddy would come by because we're patrolling around Manhattan waiting for a call or whatnot, and we knew when they were going to come by. So I'd always pick up the loudspeaker on it. Hey Howard, how you doing? Just yell at him, and he'd wave, you know. And it became a thing. I didn't bother him all the time, but one time I went up, I asked him for the autograph. Very nice. He signed signed it. I got Robin Quivers' autograph too. I met her, and like I said, I spoke to her, and the show started. And Robin comes on, just saying good morning, and Howard turns around and goes, well, we started the morning off by getting harassed by a couple of people in an ambulance. It was me and my friend.
Nice.
Wow. When was this?
That had to be like 82 or 83. He was
oh, my
on.
goodness. Earlier.
Yeah,
Back
was-
when, who was it? Pig Vomit, right?
yeah, that's right. Pig Vomit. Yep. Yeah, I think he was still on, oh, God.
WNBC.
NBC, yes. He came on.
WNBC.
He came on right before or after what's his name just passed away. Come on, help me, John. Big radio town passed away.
Drop me off.
Shit, I don't know.
Oh.
Uh,
I know. I know.
Imus.
I know. You're
Imus?
Yeah.
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 yeah. When did Imus passed away in the 80s? No.
No, he
No,
passed
like
away.
He
3
passed away
days
recently.
ago.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I just said he just passed away. But he used,
Oh, okay.
used to come on before or after. I don't remember. I don't remember. Then they split and they're on different stations. and
Yeah, because at that time, Imus was the biggest.
Oh.
Was it the late 80s, or was it early 80s? I don't
early
remember.
80s.
Yeah.
He was the big one. Howard was after him for the whole time, basically. To try and dethrone him, if you will.
And Don Imus used to do the in concert, CBS or whatever it was. He'd do the in concert.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
John, what?
John, thumbnail. There
Oh,
you
there.
go. All I heard was in concert.
What the heck happened? I think my internet. Michael Smith.
Hey, Mike, you're on the spot. Ready? Name
Yeah.
this riff. It's in the middle of the after the solo, or no, during the second half of the solo in an Anthrax song from my favorite album.
Go ahead.
Ready?
I'm stumped.
All right, it starts out with no?
Blank, man.
I'm getting Johnny flagged. Am I? I apologize. That's Gridlock, man. The last song on the album.
Okay. Yeah, now you're playing. Yeah. Yes, Vintage Sounds, Nam is coming. You gonna be there?
That's so loud.
Do it again. Do it again. Yeah, slide down.
Oh my gosh.
Aha!
Oh.
Awkward. Awesome. Awesome.
I know. It's
I got a text
I'm
from my
good if-
wife.
I'm
saying,
good
"Oh my
if you
God,
guys
you
are
guys
good."
are annoying.
all right. All right.
We're
All
at
right.
that point.
Yeah. John B, I'll take it away, man.
Thank you all. Thank you, Metal Soda. Thank you, Vintage Sounds, AI Gaming, Mad Dog, Nightbot, Zach Thong, Metal Soda. Those are the only few who have been talking in the last hour. So, Hugh Caldwell. Thank you all. Have a great night. We'll see you next Saturday for
There's still
Straturday
70
night.
mother effers watching.
Man.
Good night.
Should I go ahead and play this, John?
Go for it.
I don't know how loud this is going to be, and I don't.
Yeah, this is
This won't be
it's
the
a
theme.
test.
Yeah, it's a test. It won't be the theme to this song. To this show. I don't think. I think this might be more Tuesdays. This song Tuesdays, but we'll just go ahead and play it, and we'll say goodbye. So, say goodbye.
Goodbye, all.